What is going on, Duckers? And thank you for tuning into this episode of the Decoy Voice live stream podcast. A thing that we don't even know what it's called yet, but we are finally going to be live streaming pretty much across all platforms right now. And it's kind of cool because we have even 4 people over on Twitch, which is pretty awesome because this is the first time we've been over there. And in case you're not aware, wait, hold on. This thing's super lagged out. It won't tell me how many people are watching. It's kind of weird. It's like it's not updating. But yes, I see Prime over at Twitch is watching. So that's kind of cool. You guys are over there. And if you're not aware, I guess I have the chat things up there. But yeah, I am just Decoy over on Twitch TV, which is pretty cool. They gave me that. I think working on Kick giving me that platform. I know Rumble was nice enough to do it for me. It'll be hard for me to get Decoy on YouTube, but I think I might purchase Decoy over on Instagram. Okay, so Sir Berto and Britannia saying there's 6 of you guys over there. Thank you, Derp. You guys are hanging out. Yeah. Yeah, if you jump over to Twitch, that's pretty cool too. I know you guys can give me that the Twitch Prime sub, which is if you just have Amazon Prime, you get a free like paid subscriber membership. So it's like a $5 membership you get for free and you can just assign it to me. So that's pretty cool. When I announced it over on this over on I think it was Twitter, people were getting all upset like, "Oh, you're going to lose your voice if you go over to Twitch, they're going to censor you and stuff." But honestly, it's the sad part is I think YouTube is more stringent than Twitch. I mean, chat, let me know. Maybe you guys watch more Twitch, but I think YouTube is more stringent on like what I can say than Twitch is. So honestly, I'm not afraid of me being over moderated over there. Like obviously I self-censor insanely. See, YouTube's less stringent on appearance. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, thank you, Compadro, for being over there. But yeah, it's yeah, Blue Sky is gonna be the one that's gonna be the worst. They'll probably just ban me on entry, I think. Yeah, but it looks like we got 700 over on YouTube, 100 on Decaf Decoy. So if you're not following me on at Decaf Decoy, that's where all the live streams are gonna go in the near future. But yeah, it seems like we got some decent numbers on all the other platforms or whatever. I think one of them could just detach. Yeah, I'll just detach that one. That's fine. And if you don't have Twitch, you don't have Twitch. I mean, it is what it is. But honestly, these people are like, "Oh, why are you gonna be on Twitch?" But honestly, I think it's a good opportunity to get a new audience that doesn't go on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys right now, you guys would never be on Twitch at all, but there's a lot of people on Twitch that would never be on YouTube. And honestly, by default, you're either watching like political content wise, you're essentially watching Hassan. You're watching, I think, who's that StarCraft gamer? Chat, do you guys know the StarCraft gamer that's now all politics? But Twitch very much seems to be left leaning. So honestly, I think, okay, Queso is on Twitch. I see that. Yeah. So honestly, Asmongold is, yeah, Destiny, that's the guy's name. Asmongold is like the de facto Twitch streamer for politics, even though he's Roach King. He plays video games. Like he's playing that bizarre, sorry, Prime, if you say your 3 ads for 20 seconds, I need to adjust that. I didn't realize it was just gonna bombard you guys with that many ads. I'll figure it out. Thanks for the super chats over on YouTube. I'll cover all those at the end. And that's the thing is, like, yeah, you guys don't like Destiny. I may not like many of his political opinions, but anybody that's successful online, I will look to them to see, like, you know, what are you doing? You multi-streaming, you have all these chat boxes on your thing. Like, what are you doing that's making you successful, and what can I learn from that? I talked about that on the last live stream where I may think LeBron James is not necessarily an idiot because he's obviously smart enough to be like good at basketball, but you know, I may think he's very detached from reality in the world of politics, but I would still take advice from him in terms of how to be a better basketball player. I'll still look at Hassan and say, okay, what are you doing well in streaming, you know? I don't think I'd ever go to Oklahoma City. I honestly, I like Texas, but only certain parts of Texas, and I may end up living there in the near future. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, LeBron is a crybaby, but if LeBron's like watching me shoot a three ball, and he's like, "Hey, fix your elbow this way, and maybe lift off with your feet this way," I'm gonna listen to him about basketball. That's just how I feel about like looking to people like Destiny and Hassan or whatever. Yeah, they have radical cult followings. Like, sad to say, what would it take for someone like me to get a radical cult following? Where I think that there is a fine line of all, like, how many people are here right now? Probably collectively like just over 1,000 right now, right? But if all of a sudden I started saying things like, guys, China has the best politics, or, you know, China has more freedom than America. Donald Trump should take notes from President Xi. Like, if all of a sudden I started saying all that stuff, a large majority, if not all of you, would stop watching me, because then obviously my integrity's gone, and I'm like just completely in the pocket of a foreign government. Hassan has such a cult following over on his platform that honestly, all of them, he's essentially doing that, and we're gonna cover more of that on the stream, right on today's stream, about what Hassan's doing over in China. But he has his audience is so captured, he can literally run propaganda for a foreign government, and they'll stick around for him. Rage baiting gets you a cult following. Rage baiting gets you in the media. Like, honestly, I'm not popular enough. Either I'm not popular enough, or I'm not polarizing enough to get featured on Yeet. I mean, I don't necessarily need Yeet to repost me or whatever, because it's typically never for something good. But I guess I'm not polarizing. I don't say extreme enough things to go viral online. So I think that, you know, rage baiting is a thing where someone's going to say something for the sake of being controversial, and that's how they kind of get their name out there. You know, they'll get a lot of detractors, but they'll get a lot of new viewers no matter what. Yeah, I think this thing, I love the Mexican Coke, but it's like terrible for you, even though it's sugarcane sugar. It's just a bottle of, like, how many calories is in this? 150 for serving size. So I mean, I like this thing. I think I'm just gonna limit it to when I live stream to have something there to give me that. What is it? Rock and Roll says, Decoy officially sold out. I know he drinks Mexican Coke. The joint is like $20 a bottle. Over at Costco, I think you get a kind of a good discount. But honestly, this thing it's way more expensive than most. Yeah, calories aren't real. I don't think that's true. Once I started cutting out all drinkable calories, I lost not an insane amount of weight, but I lost a good amount of weight by cutting out drinkable calories. So I think it's very real. Is YouTube broken right now? I gotta check myself out. So over on Decoy Voice, looks like I'm live, 948 watching. Over on Decap Decoy, looks like I'm live, 122 watching. Yeah. So I'll cut to the super chats later on towards the end. Oh, you're just saying YouTube's just broken? Yeah. Yeah, they're like $2.50 when you're buying Mexican Cokes. That's the way it is. Carbs are the bad guys, because carbs is sugar. Like, sugar, it just becomes sugar in your body and everything. So yeah, it's glorious sugar. That's exactly what it is. Is my Twitch working right now? Let's see. Okay, I see I'm there with 20 viewers. I can't even see the live chat. There it is. Ooh, echoing. I'm echoing. Okay, cool. So there's a whole bunch of people. Whoa, we got people that are subscribing. Wow, that is awesome. So okay, over on Twitch, a lot of people. Oh, Neobox Truck, I know you. Okay, that's cool. I'll probably need to get mods over there, but I don't know if you... Oh yeah, Prime says had to drop Matt Morse to watch this. This is insane to see how fast Matt Morse grew on the platform, because I know he's kind of like Asmongold, Liberal Hive Mind, where those guys, they were okay, cool. Thank you, Kama Shadow, for the Prime sub. I need to give the sound effects. I need to figure out how to activate that. Asobi, I'll probably hit you up to try to figure out how to do this. But yeah, you guys are all subscribing, so that's awesome. I didn't expect that to happen over there, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I'll wait. How do I? Hopefully, Asobi-san is the same Asobi-san that mods my other thing. I'm giving him mod status, and hopefully, this is not an imposter. Just give some guy a thing because I see it. Cool. So you guys saw Oh, founder status. That's what it is. Okay. A daytime stream. So, okay. Wait. I'm trying to poll here when it would be best for me to stream during the day or during the evening. Maybe put a D in chat for daytime, N for chat for evening. But I guess it doesn't make any sense right now because late afternoon, like right now where I'm at, I'm still in California, 5:24 p.m. And so people say nighttime. EWS. N, night. Looks like most people say nighttime. I kind of thought that maybe I could do Tectone when he was live streaming more. So I'm saying N's mostly. I don't know what E is. What's E? The East Coast audience, yeah. The one thing I would say is Tectone used to be known as the Asmongold waiting room. Like he would be the guy that you watch before Asmongold goes live. And I thought maybe this is what I used to try to do when I had my regular job. So I'd get off work at like 5 p.m., come home. Timcast is kind of fizzling out. I'd get some food. Then I'd go live at like 7 p.m. Pacific time. So I could be the Timcast IRL after show. So I was figuring that maybe I could be evening for like Asmongold after show. Because I think even Pirate Software, like people don't like Pirate Software anymore. But honestly, when Pirate Software talked about how he blew up so fast, he found out like overnight is when all the other streamers aren't working on whatever game he was doing. So then he just filled that time and was able to blow up with that and show it. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll listen to that. So maybe I could be somebody like the Asmongold after show. I think he finishes around like now to 6 p.m. Eastern. Pacific. Yeah, had a lot of loyal subs on Decaf, and I don't want to add paid for subscribers on Decaf Decoy because I kind of feel like why would I try to charge you guys twice? I feel like that's not right for me to say. Subscribe to me here and over there. Like if you're a Twitch streamer, cool. I appreciate the support over there. But honestly, like the baseball bat is I use the baseball bat just when I'm standing up. I feel weird sitting down, also having the mouse or whatever. The bat comes out when I stand up, and that's when I get a bit uneasy. Whereas Uganda Hater, I don't even know if this is the time zone he could watch. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. It's just twitch.tv/decoy. I'm hopefully getting decoy handles everywhere if I can. Yeah, I'm Instagram.com/decoybts Instagram wise, and I feel like that's where I'm going to do all my announcements. That's why I first said I was going to be on Twitch, so you guys follow me over there if you haven't. See, it is a beautiful bat. I used to have an affiliate link where you guys could buy it, but then it sold out super fast. And this is the wiffle ball version. The real pencil baseball bat is like $500. I'm not that talented at all. Is he Yakuza with those tats? I mean, these tats are awesome, and I feel really bad. My tattoo artist was just out snowboarding, and I think he dislocated his shoulder. So I'm like, I kind of wanted to get some more work, but he might be out of service for a long time. Oh, what's up, Uganda Hater? I'm glad you're here still. The pencil bat is super base. Yeah, that's when Andy Pajes on the Dodgers, when they could use their custom bats. I think he hit like 3 home runs consecutively with this. So, yeah. You got me on 3 streaming services, so I appreciate that. The Decoy mini bat merch would sell. Unfortunately, the current manufacturer of my merchandise is just things like this tinfoil beanie, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies. They got mugs and stuff like that. Like I was able to convert my Stanley mug into like a Bay State mug. I feel like I should bring back Bay State, but I need a co-host for that. But Bay State, I made that. I just no bat quite yet. Yeah. Okay, wait. Before we get into the first topic, because we've been going for almost like 15 minutes now. What's up, Ben? Honey Badger. If I were to do an IRL stream, or if I had like a athletic event coming up where I could live stream it and I wouldn't live stream it, I'm not getting an Otani tattoo. No, my rule on tattoos is no people to things. We got like a tiger, we got a fish, and on my chest, no, I'm not gonna lift up my shirt right now. On my chest, I got a phoenix. It's pretty dope. But no people, because what happens if Otani all of a sudden becomes a weirdo? Like, I don't think this is ever gonna happen. I'm like the biggest Otani fan. But what happens if he's like a psychopath and there's like a viral video of him just going off on a waiter or something like that? You wouldn't want to have him on you. No dragon tattoo because I wanted to go full like basic Asian guy tattoos with like the koi fish and stuff like that, but not dragon. That's a little bit too much. If I end up getting my back done, maybe back there. I don't know. Most open times for streaming between midnight and 2. I'm not gonna do that. 7 and 9. Yeah, probably that. 4 and 6. So maybe 4 and 6 will be my time slot. Possibly. Dragon back tattoo, make it Rayquaza. Somebody from my tattoo artist got a dragon tattoo, but it was Gyarados from Pokemon. Awesome. If I got one, maybe I would think that. So the problem is I want to do a poll right now, but since I'm on all these different platforms, I don't know what the heck it's saying offline on everything. I don't know how to get the poll on all platforms. So yeah, we're gonna say just type in Y for yes, N for no. Would you want to watch me live stream an outdoor event? It's something like athletic, even though I'm not the most athletic person, but it's gonna be something in the near future. Would you want to watch me just do something random? It's not gonna be political commentary. It'll be me with some people. So it seems like everybody wants to see it, except for I'm not calling you out. One guy, a couple guys say no. So it seems like a lot of you guys would want to see it. You should try paintball. I'm always terrible at paintball, though. Oh, yes, people just want to say more stuff. I wouldn't play basketball for stream. I mean, maybe if I was doing one of those events, but yeah. But yeah, no. If I went out there and did an event outdoors, would you guys want to tune in for that? So it seems like you would. I wouldn't play airsoft. Basketball with Hassan. Decoy live, yeah, just me out and about. It's not beach volleyball. Good God. Maybe I sing in a Japanese pop band. I mean, no. Laser tag at a block. I mean, there was that one time that I just was randomly I went to a YouTube event over in Santa Monica, and I used to like going over to the 3rd Street Promenade all the time, and I was just there, and I was like caught in traffic. Like me driving home at that time around was going to be like 2 extra hours of traffic. So I just hung out there and I live streamed on it was either Instagram or YouTube, and it was just one of the vertical live streams. And it was like I wasn't getting attacked, but if anybody was from that, it was an insane event where there was like crazy homeless ladies cussing out the security guard. So I'm recording them and not trying to become part of the scene because she was like yelling. Yeah, it was all bad. Not karaoke. If you guys have heard, you guys hear my voice. You guys hear my voice right now. Is this a voice that you think that would be singing falsetto? Like that's not gonna be a thing. Decoy IPA review podcast? Probably not. I'm never going to do that. I have not an unhealthy relationship, but it's like I like whiskey too much. So I'm almost off it cold turkey. I'll have it if I like go to an event or a party, like what was it, Halloween. I was drinking, probably that was last time I drank is Halloween, but now I'll limit myself. But yeah. It's to the point where if I'm drinking, stuff is cool, and you don't want to ever be the person where you're like, oh, I only feel good when I'm drinking, so I pretty much cut all that out. No reviews of IPAs. Oh yeah, so wait, am I getting let me look on Twitch. Are you guys giving me those people are I don't even check on my Twitch dashboard. I think people are yeah, okay, so yeah, Killinator gave me 5 gifted, so thanks for that, man. I'm sorry I'm not watching that as much because the chat I have with Restream isn't giving me all that, so I appreciate that. You guys are gifting subs, thank you. Troll woke people at Disneyland. It was kind of cool. Like, I feel like I've been maybe a couple times throughout the year with family, and every time I've been there, someone's like walked up and said hi, wanted a picture or whatever. So it's been pretty cool. The Wire is just out. Are we talking about The Wire, the television show? Show you how to make rice. Well, I'm not that kind of Asian, guys. I'm not even sure that voice is your Decoy voice. It's all coming together. I mean, some people are making, like, not making fun of it. They were like, oh, that's not his real voice. I'm like, of course it's not. Nobody speaks with, like, the movie preview voice while they're ordering coffee. Like, it was just something that on Decoy Voice, whenever I record late night in, what was it? What was one of the first? I think it was the New York City had a huge flood. And I made that video at, like, midnight my time, but I lived in a tiny LA apartment where I didn't want to bother my neighbors. So it was just kind of like, hey, so this is what's going on over New York City, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just being very, very low, and everybody was commenting how they liked it. They're watching people lose their livelihoods in a horrendous flood in New York City, but they're vibing out because they like the way I sound. So I just started to lean more into it. When I do live streams, I'm not trying to, like, kill my voice with the raspiness, but honestly, that's what it is. Restream's a gold standard-ish. I mean, I'm just working with it right now. It seems to be good. I'm using this chat box, so it seems pretty good. I would say if you're gonna have guests, StreamYard has been my friend. I used to like being able to click something and having a chat pop up at the bottom. StreamYard is good if you're gonna have guests. I think I even have my StreamYard subscription, but Restream seems pretty simple as well. Streamlabs, I cannot get to work. Streamlabs has all the cool, like, if you guys gave me money or something, it'd pop up and do, like, text-to-speech, all that stuff. I wish I could get it to work, but whenever I use it, it's terrible. A deep voice Asian. No, I'm for the most part, Korean. Faking my voice like Pirate Software, like, does Pirate Software... Does he use, like, a filter in OBS that, like, moves his voice down a couple octaves? Because I could see that be a real thing. Does he? People seem to say that. Auto-tune? I wonder if I could just auto-tune my voice the entire time. That'd be kind of cool. The Theo conversation with Joe Rogan was really bad. I mean, everybody always, like... I think at the end of the day, Joe Rogan reminds you that he is a classic liberal. Like, he's been a voice for conservatives because he's been rejecting, like, the Joe Biden and the Kamala Harris's and stuff. Like, he's more logical and rational. But at the end of the day... Joe Rogan is still a bleeding heart liberal. You're never going to change that. So, I mean, yeah. Which is good, though. I think that it's good to hear Joe Rogan's voice about stuff knowing I don't agree with him. Same thing with Fresh and Fit. Not Fresh and Fit. Abba and Preach, Fresh and Fit's rival. Abba and Preach, I would say they have a lot of bad political takes, in my opinion. But it's good to hear their political takes because it's like, okay, what's the other side saying? We don't want to be in an echo chamber like people on Reddit that ban everybody that doesn't agree with them. Become a female VTuber. I think that the AI faces is going to be coming. It will be in the near future where you'll have guys from other countries becoming hot blonde woman with cleavage and doing a live stream or IRL like streams on Twitch, and you would never know it's not actually them. Because if anything, we saw on Twitter where they started to reveal people's actual country they're from, and so many of these, like, super attractive girls on Twitter are actually guys from Pakistan, India, and what's the other big country? I forgot. But yeah, that's what it is. Thanks you to fight. I'll hit all the super chats at the end of the show, though. And the thing is, like, you say F Biden, you're glad he's gone. I think Biden is more glad he's gone than anybody. He was not a well man. He does not deserve. I think he doesn't deserve. I think he's a terrible person, but he should be retired. I wish nothing bad upon Joe Biden health-wise. Hopefully he just gets to enjoy, whatever he has left in life. Nothing bad should happen to him. We just didn't want him to be president, and I don't even think he wanted to be president anymore. Like, he wasn't there. The Otto Pen president, yes. It was their puppet. And it was a case of elder abuse. I kind of feel like that same thing. It was like, he was not well. He was forgetting where he was. That debate showed the world that, no amount of crafty editing could save him. This was not right. Sleepy Joe, yeah. Deep in the weeds. I don't even know what that is. There's so much new Gen Z and Gen Alpha slang. I never felt more like a boomer until I hang out with my nieces and nephews, and they are they're speaking another language. It's like what do they speak over in the Caribbean? It's called something. It's called it's like when they Sean Paul, the rapper, sang it or used it. But all the people that live in not Creole, it's when they live in like Jamaica, they live in like, is it Pidgin? It's patois, possibly. But it's English, but it's not really English. The same, I think the same thing with Nigerian, the same thing with Filipino, like Tagalog. It's like there's a lot of English in it, there's a lot of their language in it. They go back and forth with it, and it's honestly like I don't understand it. That's Gen Z stuff. Slight against yeah. Pigeon? Is that a real thing? Korean barely has any English in it. Like I think the word camera is like camera in Korean, but it's not as significant as it is in like other languages. It's pigeon and Hawaii. Okay. We're going off the rails right now. We need to get into the first topic because we just haven't gotten the first topic at all. But yeah. So what we're looking at in the thumbnail is over a massive raid, over in Texas, where ICE came through, and this got captured on a Ring camera. So this is actually pretty nuts right here. Like this, I think I have to turn it down. They rolled through. Actually, I cut off the front of it. ICE DHS rolls through with one of those like half tracks with a battering ram in it, showing up to a nightclub. A whole bunch of them. This guy's like, yo, it's about to go down. Now would be a good time to leave. But ICE rolls up, and this is like a full-on like raid. And you see with it, so they're getting all the guys, some girls. It's like a massive raid. So many of them. And it kind of looks like they just wrapped up everybody. They don't know who exactly is what they're looking for. But I mean, there's an awful lot of girls there, which I think the thing that people are starting to realize is all these people they moved in, like, you know, they were helping them seek asylum. It's like a lot of them were being moved in by coyotes, and they were being moved in to be essentially, how do you say this in a nice way that YouTube won't get mad at me? Slaves, or being forced into selling themselves. Like, we're talking about horrendous things. How many of them are that? We don't know. Are they being rescued, or are they part of it, or are they just innocent and they were just happen to be going to a club? We don't know. But they're grabbing a lot of people, and it's crazy because if you look at the framing from CBS 42, what is this? Is this this looks like it's local to Texas, but they say lawmakers demand answers after task force raids San Antonio nightclub. What do you mean lawmakers demand answers after law enforcement arrests people? Like, why do they need answers when they just rescued these people? What it says arrested more than 150 undocumented immigrants, including 27 suspected Trende Aragua. I cannot pronounce that word. Trende Aragua gang members. Yep, gotta catch them all. They say 2 Democrat congressmen are demanding information on the recent raid where 140 people are arrested by the new Regional Homeland Security Task Force in South Texas. Yeah, they're demanding answers because they're going to give tips to them to help them escape. Like, we should not be giving them anything whatsoever. Yeah, what questions are they asking? I think they just want a dime. They want a tip because they want to know if something's going down, because they're going to protect them, because I think they see them as their future voters, which it's insane that we have a guy that is most well known for being with a Chinese spy is now running for governor in California. And he's saying, I want unlimited max democracy by letting them vote by telephone. His reasoning was because you can register your car at the DMV or something to that effect on your phone. Why can't you vote per phone? It's like, no, I don't want the security of my vote for like the next president or my local congressman to be the same amount of security we have when I'm voting for my favorite singer on American Idol. Absolute ridiculousness, but it's because they want everybody to vote. They want max democracy, and that's why they're protecting these people, because these are the people that they're relying on voting. Yeah. AI phone bots voting, that's what it's going to become. You're going to have all that. It is bad. Yeah, you're talking about Swalwell. That's exactly what we're talking about. But they say, we demand answers regarding the raid conducted on Sunday in the early morning hours. We write out of our obligation to ensure transparency for Texans and people across the country. Transparency for who? This is what the majority of Americans, and I would say the majority of people in Texas, we voted for this. We wanted exactly this. That's all the transparency we need. So they say, what evidence provided the judge sign a warrant? What the parameters of the warrant execute? I mean, they found 150 people they're searching for. I think they had what they needed. What Fed state? How many people were detained? Do you know that? What are the nationalities? Why do you care what the nationalities are? If they're illegal, they're illegal. I don't care. They're Chinese, they're Korean, whatever. They're not supposed to be here. That's what we voted for. What crimes were they accused of? Well, there's some of them are on a gang, and some of them are here illegally. That's the crime. You guys know. Rationale. Blah, blah, blah. So I mean, they all they want to do is wrap you up and slow down this. This is legal warfare. This is lawfare. This is them saying, we know that you're catching the people you're out there to catch. We know this is what the American people want, but we want to slow you down with just extra paperwork and make certain that even though this is what the American people want, we're going to stop you with nonsense like this. Because when you look at from the official DHS.gov, the Department of Homeland Security, saying their article on this says they arrested 150 aliens at Tren de Aragua nightclub in San Antonio. Look at the framing. San Antonio nightclub or gang run nightclub. You know a lot of these are shady. They seize cocaine, firearms, and $35,000 in cash. In perspective, that's not a lot of money. But the idea that they got gang members, they found narcotics, and they found weapons. I imagine these weapons weren't registered. I imagine if they're in the hands of one of these 150 people here illegally, they should not have had them. This seems like a success. This is what they want. But again, these idiots, these very college-educated liberals, like if you didn't see this video from Decoy Voice, they're singing, they're at Home Depots, they're protesting. Like, honestly, like I guess we could play a very, very small clip of it. It's going to be weird to be the inception of Decoy watching Decoy. But you see, this is how dumb they are. Of unemployed nonsense. As originally, they tried to get their workers to join their side.
You don't want to look at it? You don't want to hear it? We're customers.
You can send it to our media relations.
This is the ultimate duel between unemployed behavior and a guy just trying to feed his family. He's at his job at Home Depot, and I'm not looking down on him working at Home Depot whatsoever. But it's like, I don't think this is something that you wake up every day. I've worked in retail for like a decade. You don't wake up every morning like, oh my God, can't wait till I can go to my job. Like, it's a job. You're paying bills. You're being a responsible adult. He doesn't have time to entertain your nonsense of like you're marching through the thing, say, sign my thing because we're gonna stop we're gonna stop the raids of Tren de Aragua members that have 3 pistols. Like we want these guys gone. But yes, they're out there protesting Home Depot. I just want to get one side of this. Then marched in boycott of ICE, waving all the flags of the countries they demand. They're marching over there when they. Oh my! I can't because the labor. I can't stand to see my face on camera. Labor unions will somehow stop federal law enforcement. Yeah. This only sounds stupid. Oh my! ICE kept members, so they're out there marching in Home Depot now, right? Shame on you, Home Depot, because they're a place that illegals congregate to find day work, and ICE knows that. Like, anybody knows. Everybody in this chat knows at Home Depot they congregate there during the day to find work. Day laborers. That's been like a reliable fact forever. They're going there. It's not Home Depot's fault that ICE is arresting them there. Home Depot, shame on you. Even wasting their workers' time. Oh, yeah, this was ridiculous. They're just buying and returning the same. They thought it was an ice scraper to show, oh, we're gonna scrape out ice, but it actually was just a putty knife, and they're too dumb to know that. But just this is ridiculous. But now, they're still out there protesting. They haven't learned a damn thing. And oh, wait, there we go. I haven't learned a damn thing, and now they're upset that they can no longer waste the employees' time with their nonsense.
And I can record you.
You can.
It's public, and I'm being asked to leave.
Well, is this just? I thought this was a cop. This is a hardcore Home Depot location. If they got an armed guard like this, because these guys are not cheap. If you want to get a security guard, it's like, it's some. I'm not going to quote you guys on prices, but I would say if you want someone that is a armed private security guard, it's double to triple the cost. No retail store is going to hire a guy that's licensed to carry unless they absolutely need it. So obviously this is probably one of the worst Home Depots because at Home Depot, if you guys aren't aware, people steal from Home Depot all the time. Batteries are very expensive. Hardware is super expensive. Like tools are super expensive, and they go there not only for so they can work on their construction site, but they go on there to sell it. So they had to have an armed guard. Yeah, $80,000 to $100,000 a year. He's probably making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, but you don't ever contract a guy directly saying, "Hey, you're a guy that has a permit to carry. I'm gonna hire you." Like, no, you want to hire from a company that has a giant insurance policy. So he's maybe getting $80,000 to $100,000 a year, but the business on top of it is probably collecting like $200,000 a year. But yeah, this is nuts.
You can.
It's public, and I'm being asked to leave.
It's
for
private property.
harassment.
It's private property.
Yeah, it's private property. Like people, I work security, not like that, but I work security in a similar fashion. And people are always upset when they're like, "This is a public space." It's like, you guys don't understand the difference between open to the public and public. This is still private property. They can ask you to leave, especially if you're not patronizing their business. If you're not buying stuff, what business do you have there other than to make your stupid social media moment?
But I'm giving you the authority. You can record me all you want, okay?
So I'm being asked to leave because I asked about.
And she's proudly recording herself saying, "I'm being asked to leave because I was asking if ICE is here. I have no purpose to be here, and now I'm upset because they're telling me a business wants to cater to customers and not activists."
ICE, if ICE was here in Home Depot today, and he said that is harassment. That Home Depot management says I am harassing customers because I asked if ICE was here.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with nothing. Like, people asking, is she orange? I think maybe it's just because, like, when they say you wear someone with blue eyes will wear like a blue shirt, or green eyes wear a green shirt, it brings it out. I'm thinking this is just a crappy camera bringing out the orange in Home Depot onto her skin. Because even he looks a little bit orange too. And even me in this is the most bizarre thing. I get very orange under these lights, even if I adjust the coolness, eventually it makes me orange. See that? So this is kind of a warm light, which is kind of nice. But then if I make it cool, I'll go from warm to orange again. The most bizarre thing, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Glenn from The Walking Dead, no.
Is not allowed.
So they're gaslighting me, saying that I am harassing somebody.
They're gaslighting me. I'm in a Home Depot, not to buy anything, but just to bug people at their work, or just to bug people buying something so they can go to work. Because you don't go to Home Depot to buy like toys. Like, you don't go to Home Depot because you're gonna do some, like, I guess some people do like arts and crafts as a hobby, but for the most part, you're at Home Depot because you're blue collar and you're taking care of business. How come I can't bother you because I have nothing better to do?
Because I asked for if ICE was on the property, and I was shopping around, sir.
You're
I don't think so.
not shopping.
Yes, I was. I was looking for the price for that shelf. Yeah, why are you laughing? Because that's what I was doing.
Why are you laughing? Because you know this is BS.
And then I was outside on my phone, talking on my phone before I came in, and he said I can't be doing that. And so all of a sudden, I'm
this.
harassing people because I want to know if ICE is on the property. Just because I asked ICE if ICE was in the property.
And you can see it in their eyes when they're formulating the lie, when it's starting to change. I was asking if ICE was here. I was asking the employees, but I was asking the customers. Oh, I was actually shopping for a shelf. And now you're saying I can't be. It's all make-believe.
So Home Depot management is complicit with ICE.
See, now you're building it. You're building it. Now it's just because Home Depot doesn't have time to cater to your nonsense. Loitering, exactly. Home Depot doesn't have time to cater to your nonsense. Now it's because Home Depot's complicit with ICE. Like, what do you want these companies to say? Home Depot's taking a stance against federal law and enforcing the border. Home Depot says this is an anti-ICE zone. Like, I'll say I was at a shopping mall the other day, and it's like there's this fancy handmade soap store. It's kind of cool. They have like different things. Like one time they had Ninja Turtle soaps. It was random, but kind of cool. I remember being outside there and seeing a sign saying this company is an anti-ICE, an ICE-free zone. And I was like, so basically you guys are complicit. Like, I'm doing the same thing she's doing right now, but I feel like this place is complicit with illegals committing crimes because ICE is going after them when they have criminal histories, when they have records, when there's a reason for them to be deported. They're not going after your day laborers. They're just finding them at work, and if they'll get the other day laborers, they just happen to be there. If this soap company is okay with these people committing crimes being wanted, being fugitives, because they just need to cater to people like this. I just saw that sign. I'm like, I'm never going to shop from this place ever again. Like, I barely shopped there in the first place, but I have purchased things from this fancy soap store before. Never again, because now I know they're complicit with harboring criminals. And it's like, yeah, is Home Depot going to do that? Because I'm telling you right now, most of their clientele isn't going to be okay with this.
Kicking me out and threatening me with harassment in 3 years if I don't leave because I was asking if ICE was in the property.
She's so bewildered that they have a job to do.
Let's share that with everyone. What just happened here?
They think it's this own. Oh, I got them. They're complicit with ICE. I expose them. It's like they have no idea how the world works. But the sad part is it's getting worse. And it's not just them protesting Home Depot. You have this over here in San Diego.
This ICE agent, let me go.
Oh my God, that's so loud. Hold on, my bad. How does she know? How does she know? Sometimes these guys are union pipe fitters just at their job and just, they think, oh my God, a bunch of guys together? They must be ICE. They have whistles, they're shouting, and she's so happy about herself because she's recording her. This is that meme of like a guy taking a picture of an item and a girl taking a picture of an item. This is her. This isn't about protecting ICE. This is about making certain that she can make her social media post of how much free time she has, essentially. But yes, you have them doing this, but it keeps on getting worse. Now, obviously, do not do this. Do not do this. Do not do this at all. I'm giving you an example of how insane they're getting because these people are going to wind up in prison.
ICE raided North Carolina, and North Carolinians found out which hotel they were staying at.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You don't look deranged at all waving around your knife in probably front of your own vehicle.
And they slashed over 50 tires in one sitting.
Do not do this.
And you too can slash over 50 tires with the knife set that was used by clicking that orange card below.
Yeah, she's trying to have an affiliate code on what to do. Like that one, it was like an old white man saying, oh, you just have to get these tiny little snipper clips and you can snip off the part of the tire or whatever. And like, you guys are going to prison. These aren't your local Charlotte, North Carolina, very, very soft on crime blue DAs. You're going to get federal charges. And just imagine if you slash it, you injure their tire, and they happen to get injured. Like, they don't know their tire's flat, so they go speeding off, and then they get in a car accident. You are going to prison for a very, very long time. But, you know, the best case scenario, you got a snarky little video. You had a snarky little video showing how smart you are. Oh, you're so self-satisfied. But again, this one, these guys are going to prison for such a long time because do not do this. Do not do this. But here he is out here, proudly taking a social media video inside his vehicle, saying this is what he thinks you should do. Again, this is a felony. Do not do this.
You know what helps ice melt? Bear spray. It's $60 on Amazon. That's
Yeah. We'll get bear mace. Spread the. This isn't you damaging a vehicle. This isn't you following around an ICE agent. This is you saying, commit assault and battery on federal officers. We've escalated. We've escalated. Like this is beyond insane because, in my opinion, actually, well, not my opinion. To my belief, if you're bear macing, so if an ICE agent is arresting a wanted fugitive, and this idiot runs up to them and bear maces them, I think they can use force against him. And I'm talking about the most force. I may be mistaken. Maybe they're just to say like, oh yeah, you had to fight him or something or whatever. But this could get himself or one of his followers seriously injured, or best case scenario, years in prison. Yeah, I think it is. I think that level of force is available if they're trying to arrest a dangerous criminal, possibly with weapons, and he runs up with bear mace. He thinks it's a snarky, TikTok or Instagram short reel or whatever. They think this is like, them doing resistance. Oh, haha! Look! I'm in Home Depot. I'm resisting. I'm getting rid of fascism. And now it's escalated to informing their followers to commit horrendous felonies. I don't know about you, but this is getting out of hand very, very quickly. But here we have the new face of the Democrat Party. I don't know how it got this bad, but the new face of the Democrat Party saying illegal immigration is good fiscal policy. This is main character syndrome at the worst. It is.
I know Democrats don't want to talk about immigration, but I am.
That's all Democrats talk about is immigration. So this is just revisionist history. I know Democrats don't want to talk about the thing that they've campaigned on for the last 8 years.
Because they so I don't think that they will. But
I like how everybody starts clapping for her because it's all like, oh my God, how stunning and brave of you to stand up for illegal immigration. How stunning and brave of you to be there for open borders. This is like me going up in front of like Dodger fans and saying, I know you guys don't like to hear this, but Shohei Ohtani's a good baseball player. I know it's controversial, but I'm gonna go against the grain, guys, and say he's a good baseball player. Like she's singing to the chorus, to a chorus of applause, because oh my God, like this is the controversial take she has.
They so I don't think that they will, but I do think it's important that we educate people. And right now we are winning on immigration because now they see that he wasn't just going and getting the bad guys. But when we talk about things like
they don't think there's a single bad guy. Remember, Democrats toss him aside, but Kilmore. Remember when he was just Maryland man? Like they were all behind it. They say they were trying to get the bad guys. Now they're getting everybody's. No. You fucking idiots kept on saying Kilmore was one of the good guys. Kilmore didn't he have a history of domestic V? Didn't he have a history of potentially trafficking people? Like, didn't he? He's openly a part of a gang, had their tattoos on his hand, was here saying, I need asylum because I'm part of that gang. That was one of the good guys they kept on saying, we got to protect them. So when you sit here and say, they're not just after the bad guys, they're getting the good ones too. It's like, no. You call them all good. You're moving the goalpost.
Like Social Security, most people don't understand that it's those folk that aren't necessarily citizens. When they go to work, they actually pay into our...
Aren't necessarily citizens. They can't say illegals. They just can't. It's out of their vocabulary.
Social Security.
They're not.
They pay into Social Security that they then cannot pull down on. And
they keep on saying, oh, they can't collect the Social Security. We're going to get into it in a moment. But they keep on trying to hammer to this. And, hey, look, I'm going to give you guys uncomfortable truths that the Democrats dare not speak of. They say things like, they don't receive healthcare benefits. Like, I know people, educated people, that don't think that illegals get healthcare. They don't think that they collect food stamps and EBT. They don't get more benefits for their children than you as an American citizen who've been paying into the system the entire life. And also the idea, what's the word, chat? What's the word where they send money to their home country? So many of them work here, they get paid under the table, they get remittance. Thank you, Troglodyte. Remittance. They send their money overseas back home. So they come here. I think, what was that? Caleb Hammer, he's a financial advisor guy. He had the two illegals on the show that just would go on the most popular show on YouTube and say, hey, we're illegal immigrants. Way too comfortable. But they went on there saying, oh, they're not together, so the wife collects benefits for the kid. Or maybe it wasn't for the kid, just collects benefits like EBT, food stamps. They collect money. He works under the table, sending most of it back, so they don't collect the taxes, but they also collect all the benefits, and they're at one point in time, they're going to go back home. That's the whole system, and also them bragging about, oh, I racked up all this credit card debt, now I'm going back home. They'll never see me again in life. So they're trying to sell you on this thing, oh, it's an unpopular opinion, this is what it is. But no, this is exactly what it is, but they think that they can just, you're low information enough, you're just dumb enough to buy it saying, wait a minute, they're net positives on our economy. Of course we need them here because, they depress our wages, they overflow the schools, and they raise the prices of rent and housing. Of course we want more of them. It's like, no. They can't put two and two together, so I'm just going to sit here and lie to you.
Undocumented folk account for approximately $100 billion in tax revenue.
Where'd you get that number from? They're just making shit up. Always just making shit up. Oh, $100 billion. It's $100 trillion. We need more of them. They're more than the annual GDP of the country. Like, they could keep on saying it, and they'll just lap it up and applaud it. It's ridiculous.
So, like, it's just good fiscal policy is what I would like to say about it. So I know Democrats don't want to talk about immigration.
It is ridiculous that she's saying it through a chorus of applause, but she's trying to educate us. She thinks she's more educated than us about this. But the sad part is we're actually chasing off Americans from our system. Like, this is an American citizen in New York City that watched the way she frames how the reason she will no longer go to food pantries. She's no longer going to food pantries anymore because of this interaction. And she has to apologize for what she's about to say. It's very telling.
I'm done. I'm over it. I'm not going to no more pantries. I'm done.
And nobody goes to a food pantry recreationally. You go to because you're struggling. A lot of Americans are what is called the working poor. That's the people that we should be assisting. You're just trying to get on your feet. You're trying to make ends meet. I've struggled too. That's who you want. You don't want the person that's like, yeah, I sell my food stamps so I can get pot and more Nike designer clothing. You want to help people like this out.
I'm done. Because a certain group of people be really, really, and God forgive me because I'm not a racist person.
A certain group of people, but please forgive me because I'm not racist. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm not trying to say this thing. I'm afraid to say this thing because I don't want to get canceled. She's going to tell us about a story of being assaulted, but the first thing she has to say is like, look, I'm on your side, guys. I'm on your side, but I have to tell the truth.
I'm not. I swear on everything I live for to this day. I'm not. But the way people be beasting?
Beasting? I haven't heard that before.
Like, it's like we all on the same line for the same thing.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to get more if you go there first. You have to queue up like everybody else. That's just how it is. That's how civilization should be, especially when you're getting something for free.
We all a little fucked up. Why you feel like you more important than anybody else on that line?
No, you're not. Here's the thing: is like we're all in the same. We're in the same food. Like we're all in the food pantry. None of us are flexing on the other person. None of us are saying, I'm better than you. Like, you shouldn't say that in the first place, whether you're a millionaire or you're at the food pantry. But when you're at a food pantry, you can't... Nobody's superior. Like, I just remember a long time ago, like, this is the most unrelated thing, but people talking about, like, yeah, the most successful place you can go to, like, meet people would be McDonald's. Because when you're at a McDonald's, nobody can look down their nose at you. Like, no one can say, oh, I'm too good for you. We're all at McDonald's, guys.
I almost slapped the shit out of a lady today because she kept trying to jump in line. I kept telling her not to.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
So at a point, she was talking to me in her language, and then she she hit my arm, like she slapped
in her
my arm.
language.
I'm done.
And I'm
over it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to no more.
The idea that she said, "Hey, look, I'm
done.
I'm not against anybody because of their color, but she was speaking to me in the language, and now she doesn't want to go back anymore. This is an issue because also you saw this where they're not supposed to be getting benefits. They told us over and over they don't get any benefits. What is it? Crockett just tried to tell us they're going to pay into Social Security but never collect from it. And all of a sudden, we're hearing this about SNAP and EBT because if you guys aren't aware, after the government closed, Trump is now making everybody reapply for the EBT, the SNAP benefits, which again, SNAP is supplemental nutritional assistance program. It should supplement your nutrition. It shouldn't become communism. It shouldn't become your baby daddy that takes care of you for the rest of your life. It's just supplemental. It should be for a small period of time. And here we have this.
Food assistance program could leave thousands of people without help that they rely on.
Yeah, they rely on it. Again, sure, they rely on it. It's sad. It's terrible. But we are not the world's food bank. It's just the harsh truth.
Restriction within President Donald Trump's mega bill removes SNAP eligibility for refugees, asylum seekers, and those granted legal protection for.
And why were they getting it ever in the first place? If we got homeless veterans, if we got people, Americans paying in the system the entire time, and they're in extreme poverty, they should have never been eligible. But again, you have the Democrats saying they don't receive health care. They don't receive SNAP benefits. And how we now somehow, like I guess the next slide is thousands of undocumented immigrants in Colorado lose healthcare subsidies. I thought they were saying they don't get them in the first place. And all of a sudden they're losing it. How do you lose something you never had? But again, just more Democrat lies.
Humanitarian reasons. And 10 News reporter Alana Mutnick is explaining these changes and what they mean for the people who've come here to our country seeking safety. Alana?
Yeah, they come to the country seeking safety. All fine and well. Seek safety, that it should be good. But we don't live in a Disney universe. We do not have unlimited resources. If we still have American children that are food insecure, or we have kids that are facing hunger, you can't add another 2 million of them and think, you know what, we're going to solve the problem with it. We have a housing crisis. We have homelessness. Yes, people, as individuals, they should seek the best opportunity in life for themselves. But it is, again, not our responsibility to take care of them. If we had unlimited resources, by all means, I would love to make certain that all of them had a house, a white picket fence, and never were hungry again a day in their lives. But that's just not possible.
That's right, John, Brittany. These changes are going to affect thousands. Refugee service providers in Tennessee say this is a complete barrier for these already vulnerable communities. Refugees,
they're already vulnerable. It's a very terrible thing. But we cannot solve all the other world's problems by letting them come over here. Because if you just saw, like in Mexico, 4 years of Biden, wide open borders, the government kept on falling to the cartels, slowly more and more and more. We closed the border, so there's been almost like virtually zero illegal border crossings, and within less than a year, like 6 months, they've already started to overthrow their government, their corrupt government. You need young, able-bodied men. Like when you see these open border policies in America, but also Europe, it's not families seeking refuge. It's usually military-age men almost exclusively. You need those guys to stay home in their country because they're the only ones that are going to be able to fix their country. You're not going to fix your country leaving behind women and children only. They're the ones that are going to suffer the most.
and asylees are legally protected under U.S. and international law. They go through extensive vetting, and now they are set to lose their food assistance entirely.
It sounds callous, but if we are in debt and we have deficits across the board, we can't be deficit spending because it has a sad picture beside of it.
What's happening is the system.
Actually, you guys probably should see this. He has his this is his description here, which should tell you a lot.
In which they arrived is being stripped away. The promises that they arrived under are being rescinded.
Yeah, we should have never promised them free food, free housing. Come to America, we're going to take care of you. I hate the idea whenever they go on television and complain, America was founded by illegal immigration. It's like, no, it wasn't. You mean to tell me the person coming over here saying, I'm collecting SNAP benefits and a free housing voucher is the same person than the pioneers that literally came to America, had to build their own houses out of like sticks and wood, had to traverse the entirety of the country in a wagon train. Like, These are pioneers. These were people that had no social safety net, were constantly surrounded by danger, and dying at an insanely high rate. You mean to say that the person that explored the frontier of America against the natives is the same thing as someone getting an EBT SNAP benefits? Miss me with that bullshit.
Noah Jones with Bridge Refugee Services works with 250 clients here in Knoxville. Some have
and the 250 clients, I wonder if that number isn't inflated artificially so they can say, give us the government subsidies, give us the tax dollars, give us money so we can take care of this 250 people. Because we knew, what was that place over in Minneapolis where they're allegedly feeding thousands of kids every single day, and they realize, wait, the numbers don't add up. Like, you're feeding more than the population of the city, and you're saying you're feeding an illegal immigrant kids. Like, the numbers don't add up, and they finally audited it and say, oh, this has just been fraud. Like, we actually staked out your facility and found out you're feeding nobody and saying you're feeding 1,000 people a day. I wonder if that's the same case over here.
Received their partial November SNAP payment, probably for the last time.
Based on a cold reading of the USDA memo, there is the potential that funds...
I love how we have this. We accept SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That's great. Look, they're buying a tomato and bananas and potatoes back there. Like, they're missing the whole idea that people started to open their eyes when the government was closing, and then you saw all these videos of people saying, like, going to Walmart, trying to buy all the sodas, trying to buy, like, this is a treat to me. I work 7 days a week, and sometimes I'm working 12 hours a day. Noted. I used to work, like, as a janitor. I would be, like, overnight cleaning guy. I've been peeling potatoes, washing dishes. I'll take this job over that job any day of the week, but, you know, I'm working all the time, and this is a treat to me. I mean, to say people on SNAP going to Walmart and stocking up on glass sodas all the time, like, this is what it was paying for. Because when EBT went away, there was, like, all these abandoned shopping carts at Walmart. So people like, oh, I came to Walmart, my EBT card got declined, so I can't buy all this junk food. Like, that's what it was going to. And now they're trying to say, oh, it was tomatoes and bananas, not the idea that people could go on Amazon.com and see that caviar, like $80 caviar, was SNAP eligible. We had a problem here, guys.
Funds that hit anytime after November 1st and the restarting happening can eventually be pulled back.
It should
be. Another Tennessee refugee organization says this change could devastate families across the country, which is on par with estimates from the Congressional Budget Office that suggests about 90,000 people in these groups will have lost SNAP benefits in an average month.
Okay, so 90,000 people. So were they people that were eligible for it? Because I don't care if they're losing it. It's, was this fraud? Were these people receiving these benefits that had already, like, passed away? Were they illegals? Like, were they people that weren't supposed to be getting in the first place? Because if 90,000 people are losing it, I don't mind that, as long as it's the people that weren't entitled to it in the first place. But they say 90,000 families being starving. It's like, no, again, they're trying to say, here's a sad picture. Forget all laws.
A lot of them are coming from having lost everything. And so they're starting at ground zero, and those SNAP benefits really do help with laying stability for them.
There's plenty of Americans that needs help with stability. Plenty of Americans that could use a voucher for free housing. They could use more benefits. If it was Americans that needed it, people on disability, give them more, by all means. But no, none of this.
They're building life in the U.S.
Signe Anderson with the Tennessee Justice Center says SNAP was never available to illegal immigrants.
It was never available to them, despite the fact that thousands of them are going to lose it. Again, they're arguing both sides of the coin. These are just Americans struggling. They don't receive it, but also they're going to lose it.
The majority of people who participate in the SNAP program are children, they're seniors, they're individuals with disabilities.
This move...
It is not, no, with all the fraud they found, it's not that. And honestly, what is our chat? What is it called? It was called, Nutra Biscuit or Nutra Cake? What is it called? Nutra Loaf. This is what you guys are getting ads? Are you guys getting ads on YouTube? It should be turned off. Nutriloaf, yeah. Let me find a picture of it. It should be this. This is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. We don't want you to starve, so we'll give you this thing. It shouldn't be for candy, shouldn't be for caviar, shouldn't be for DoorDash. Like, that's what the SNAP was for. It should be for Nutriloaf. We don't want the kids to starve. And if all these parents on there saying, you don't want my kid to have a popsicle, like, how sad. You guys are just cruel. It's like, no. Your kid should be able to have all the candy and soda and cake they want. The mother should just have to work for it. Like, we can't be doing this. Like, Nutriloaf should be the alternative for this. And then here we go. Sad images. Look at them. They're refugees. They're just trying to find a better life for themselves. Isn't this sad image moving you?
Stripping away decades of legal precedent.
There are people who we as the United States have decided should be here because of certain circumstances that are happening in their countries.
President Trump's mega bill doesn't just strip asylees and refugees.
Wait. It doesn't just strip asylees and refugees. They just said they weren't receiving it. This one article from, what is this, NBC 10, wherever this is from. Like, this is Colorado. What state is this? Whatever. Democrat states want to reinstate it. But just, they're not getting it. Guys, they aren't getting it. But it's stripping those benefits. And here's that banana again. I hate everything about this.
Food assistance. Trafficking victims previously certified by the Department of Health and Human Services and some special immigrant visa holders who worked with U.S. forces are also ineligible now. All that and additional information on new work requirements in states having...
Yes, work require. I don't think I pulled it up, actually. Damn, I don't have it anymore. There's work requirements on these SNAP benefits. Actually, I need to pull it up now because this is the craziest part about this. We'll play the rest of this.
To shoulder some of these SNAP costs can be found at WBIR.com.
Alana, thank you. And if you or anyone you know is in need of food assistance, you can scan the QR code on your screen, and that will take you to some options here in our region.
Yeah, so here's some extra ways to get free food and everything. Like, I think I talked about it on last live stream, is how I was so upset with where I moved. There's this grocery store, don't really frequent it, but they said, hey, look, if you lost your SNAP benefits and you need assistance buying groceries, we are now going to give you guys half price. And I was like, wait, just because I pay my bills and I don't need those benefits, I need to pay a premium for the same food they get because they no longer get a slice of my check anymore. Absolute absurdity. And I was like, okay, I'm never gonna go there ever again. But you're seeing this right here, and this is crazy. This is who's losing SNAP benefits, and it's infuriating. And this is American citizens. This is not just, I don't want illegals getting it. I don't want anybody that's just lazy getting it.
That's some bull.
Nelson Scott is on the verge of losing access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance
Program. It should be this, Nutriloaf. If SNAP was just Nutriloaf, I think a lot of people would be off it. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Program, or SNAP. He is 38, not disabled, doesn't have any kids, doesn't go to school, and doesn't have a job.
I almost this sounds like it's an overdub because they're slamming him so hard on Fox 17. Listen to this again.
He is 38, not disabled, doesn't have any kids, doesn't go to school, and doesn't have a job.
Everybody in chat's calling him a bum. I don't want to call him a bum, but I'm saying he looks pretty capable of doing just a job. Any of the shitty jobs I've worked at, they pay you crappy, but you could do it. And if you had an option of living off a Nutriloaf or getting a job, you probably do that.
Those are just some of the reasons he is no longer eligible for SNAP benefits.
It should be just one of those things. Should be saying, okay, look, can you work? Can you work? I honestly feel like it should be when you apply for SNAP and you show up and it's like, oh, you want your SNAP benefits? Okay, you can stand in this long line here, or you can climb this ladder, and there's an expedited way you can get your SNAP benefits. So you climb the ladder, you go up there, and it's like, okay, look, we saw you climb the ladder. Go get a fucking job. That should be the ultimate test of, like, we just stamp your card forever and say you can't get it. Like, this is ridiculous.
How much did SNAP help you?
It helped me a lot. I get $292 a month.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture
a month, and the sad part is everybody's all talking about how American citizen, $292 a month. a lot of illegals were getting significantly more. They were getting pocket money over New York City too. It was ridiculous.
I get $292 a month.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture crackdown is led by President Trump, who signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into law in July. Scott tells me, as a convicted felon, getting a job isn't easy.
It's not easy, but that's part of the punishment, unfortunately.
If y'all give me one, y'all be felony friendly and hire us. That's some bull.
Oh yeah. This attitude makes me want to hire him so badly, but it's just sad. That's where we are in the world right now. Yeah, it's like more than the pocket money when they get off the bus. Got a goodie bag, $25,000 of clothes, and such, and a voucher for $2,000 in stores in New York. Yeah, New York City was crazy of how much they were given. Yeah, there's work in Home Depot parking lots right now. Like, what was the heartwarming story of? It was like two black teens saw that after the guys the illegals had a food truck in their community, and they're like, yeah, everybody loves hot dogs. Everybody loves hot dogs. Jesus Christ. Everybody loves hot dogs. The person got deported. So these two black teenagers were entrepreneurial, went to the store, got all the things, bought a food cart somewhere, and all of a sudden they started making money on the street. They're hustling. And it's like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of open positions in construction, in, outside Home Depots if you want to just do it off the books like that. But there's a lot of places like this is going to create a lot of opportunity for Americans, but they don't like to see that aspect of it. Yeah, what I hear from them is saying, I'm afraid to find work because I'll lose my SNAP benefits. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, what is that meme of how outside of every pond in America, there's a sign saying, don't feed the ducks, because the ducks will become dependent on the handouts and they won't migrate, they won't hunt, they'll become overpopulated. It causes all the problems. And it's like, is that only for ducks or is that for people too? And I understand. There are people that are disabled that need assistance. Cool. By all means, we should figure out ways to help citizens that deserve it. But when it becomes a thing of saying, well, they were refugees and they just need help over here, so we got to give them an EBT card with $500 a week, like that's when you say, okay, you lost me with it. Yeah. What's up, maybe Sunshine? Thanks for being over here. Yeah. Yeah, SNAP $300 a month, job thousands a month. And the problem that happened is, like, I remember when I lived in Los Angeles, there was the COVID lockdowns, and then people got benefits. And then I think it was either Newsom or it was Garcetti maybe inside the city. They were increasing the benefits that you were getting. So at that point in time during COVID, I was a manager, so they kept me around longer. And when their furlough ended, or when they furloughed us, they furloughed me for less. Brought me back, and I'm working, and it sucks because you have all, like, it was LA, so there's masking guidelines, there's hand washing, there was all sorts of things, right? Oh, and COVID testing frequently, it was ridiculous. But when they said, okay, we need you guys to bring your employees back, my guys were making probably like maybe $18 an hour. So I was saying, hey guys, like, you guys, the job's back, you can come back, we can work. But they're like, no, we're making more money on unemployment right now. And it's like, well, we're going to raise the paycheck. You guys come back anyway. It's like, well, you know what? Why would I work 40 hours a week doing a shitty job, dealing with shitty people, when I can sit at home and make a little bit less? And a lot of people see that as an option, and they say, you know what? Why would I work, be miserable, when I can just live a little bit below my means and maybe pick up some odd jobs on the side? Like that's what happens, Yeah, $1,200 a week is sad. Yeah, Astray says you get $568 a month. Your illegal neighbor gets $1,500 a month on the same disability. We have some issues over here, and that's why we're starting to see people kind of I want to say revolt, but things are kind of getting dicey. Cody Hall says, I love my job as a factory worker. My bills are paid and I help people. I don't want to feel like a boomer, but it's like having a job feeling accomplished. Like that should be the self-satisfaction. Like I feel like I'm a bad boss right now saying, you know what, guys, I don't pay you enough, but the job should be the satisfaction in the first place. But honestly, no, it's like your job should be fulfilling. I don't even want to say spiritually, but sometimes it is. Like you set out to do a task, and when it's finished, you see your hard work, and it's like it's nice. Yeah, fulfillment, distorted noise. That's exactly what it is. But yeah. Oh, what's up, by Didi? Yeah, I mean, we're on all platforms right now. We're Decoy on. How do I do this? I can't. I'm not coordinating. We're Decoy on Twitch. We're Decaf Decoy on YouTube. We're trying to get Decoy on YouTube and on Instagram. So we'll figure that out. But yeah. So over in Chicago, they're having some hard times over in Chicago.
Coming up and down from the L Street station. And then this, as Robbie said and you said, Cheryl, almost immediately these officers, guns drawn, were on the move. And this
this is another youth gathering. And Chicago's just gotten desensitized by it. But they get together, they commit crimes, and sometimes people die.
Shortly beforehand, this is when we saw scuffles breaking out. You said you saw people throwing shoes.
It was a violent fight.
Yeah.
On the ground, several people and several different groups of people were fighting violently. And
the Chicago police are unable and unwilling to stop it because what copper wants to get in the middle of this, accidentally injure one of the kids, and then go to prison for the rest of their life?
Very concerning. And then they kind of broke apart, and I saw lots of gym shoes being thrown, and they kind of broke apart and started moving. Some started going, of course, south.
Yeah, so it got really bad over there, but it's like, okay, so that was, what was this? ABC 7s. I feel like that's Los Angeles, but yeah, local news, talking to a tourist from Indiana saying, this is not what I wanted on my vacation.
It's very disheartening to see this, right.
And it's sad because all you need is a couple instances like this to get people to never come back to your city again. I talk about how I used to love going to Santa Monica. I used to skate up and down the boardwalk by the pier to Venice Beach. I would go to 3rd Street Promenade all the time. And all it really takes is just a couple high-profile crimes, people dying. Like I went down there not recently, maybe like a year ago now. But after I went down there, I think a German tourist got stabbed, and then also someone jumped off the parking structure and hit somebody. Like, 2 major things happen. People aren't going to spend their vacations there anymore. But also when you go there and there's just rampant homelessness, shouting, screaming, living in abject poverty, it doesn't take much to have your tourist spot become a ghost town. And that's what's going to happen over there.
Holiday time, everybody wants to celebrate and enjoy the evening, and something like this happens.
People don't vacation in the poor parts of the third world. Chicago is turning into that. Is getting that reputation.
Suzanne, this morning, still a lot of details coming to light on both of these shooting scenes. We know last night, area Alderman Brian Hopkins said that multiple police officers were also hurt during those shootings. He said at least one police officer had to be hospitalized.
It's very disheartening.
And it's sad because I thought I had brought up that story, but it was when they're doing the Christmas tree ceremony, a whole bunch of teens came out, they got in a fight, they were shooting at each other, one died, and when they're responding to that, I believe nearby, there was another shooting simultaneously. So that's how bad it's getting, but you don't get this bad unless you have a mayor that tries to cover for these kids committing these crimes because they do silly things, guys. So, they may have switches on their weapons, but, they're just kids.
They're young. Sometimes they make silly decisions.
Silly decisions, like when you see videos of them in a Chicago public school all waving their violations of what you're allowed to carry. They're kids. They do dumb things.
They do.
You don't get to this bad until they've done this for years on end, and now you're seeing this where, oh, hey, look, you guys knew this was going to happen. You knew they were going to overwhelm your police resources. So how did you respond to it? Oh, that's super loud. Yeah, TikTok, it was circulating. I'll just read to you guys. TikTok, they knew what was happening. It was planned.
We have been monitoring social media and this gathering for a couple of days.
We knew about it.
And so, working with the Chicago Police Department and the Chicago Public Schools, there was a communication that was delivered.
Here's the thing was the communication saying, if you go to this meeting, we're going to put you in jail. We want to physically stop you. If it was anything less than that, you failed the kids. You failed the kid that lost their life. It's a tragedy. You can sit here and say all the things you want. Oh, we saw it. We saw it on TikTok. We made communications. We partnered with the school. We partnered with the police department. Unless you said, I'm sending you to jail to stop you from ending each other, you failed.
To CPS to encourage young people not to participate in these unauthorized gatherings.
We told them not to participate in these unauthorized gatherings. Like, he has another interview recently. It is very quiet. Recently, where he said, what are all the places that have low crime rates have in common? They have like after school programs. They have stuff for the kids to do. It's like, no, that's not it.
We had 700 additional officers on top of the 1st Police District present.
700 additional cops that are also not permitted to stop enforce the law does nothing. This is just you wasting more tax dollars.
We had CVI workers that were out there as well.
Are those social workers?
But clearly, what we put in place did not do enough to prevent what we were concerned about from actually manifesting.
What we were concerned about from actually he's like ChatGPT, or when you're on iMessage on iPhone and just pushing the get AI guess the next word thing. There was a murder. A kid died. Not the thing that was going to happen from actually manifesting. He's so afraid of saying it.
We will continue to make the necessary adjustments.
Necessary adjustments throwing them all in prison, but he won't do that.
We move along to ensure that these large, peaceful, citywide...
A kid just got shot, and he said large, peaceful, citywide events. The one that he said shouldn't occur. He's saying large, peaceful, citywide events. A kid just died. Good God, this guy, he needs prison. I think he needs prison. This is beyond corruption. He needs prison.
Events can take place without the terror and the harm of gun violence.
Again, terror and harm of gun violence, but he says peaceful events.
Necessary adjustments as we move along to ensure that these large
peaceful, citywide events
can take place without the terror
and harm of gun violence. Those are 5 words apart. Those are 5 words apart. They said large, citywide, peaceful events and terror of gun violence. Absolute nonsense. But the worst part is when he actually had to speak about it, about what happened. It's just, he's a failure. I hope the parents of that kid sue him for every dime he has.
Last night set us back as a city, and it evokes fear. Our young people have to understand that they should not attend these unauthorized events.
Yeah, you told them that there's going to be no punishment for you attending this unauthorized offense until you start jailing them. Nothing will change. But he's made it very clear he refuses to jail them because of the racial implications
that have been advertised on social media. They are extremely dangerous due to the number of individuals that may be carrying weapons, and as much progress as we have made, there are still far too many guns on our streets. For these young people who have engaged in these incidents, you have put yourselves and your friends at risk. Because of the reckless behavior of a few individuals.
This happens all the time. We saw large mobs of them fighting. It's not a few individuals. That he just can't admit it. They call this progress.
We have families devastated, and our downtown residents are hesitant to leave their own homes. I'm the first person to recognize that we have more work to do in this city.
You are not the first person to recognize that. You're probably the last person. Zero accountability, yes.
City to provide safe spaces for our young people. But these type of violent gatherings can never be an alternative, nor can they be normalized.
Chicago has normalized them.
The parents, guardians, and other responsible adults.
Somebody else, parents, guardians, other responsible adults, mayor, leader of the police department. This is not his responsibility, apparently.
To do their best to accompany young people in large, unsanctioned gatherings.
He keeps on calling them large, unsanctioned gatherings, peaceful events. It was a gang shooting. What?
Weapons are likely to be present. There's always more.
Wait, he said weapons are likely to be present. What about all the signs? What about the gun-free zones? If those are so successful in all the laws, why doesn't he pass more laws and have more gun-free zones? If those are so effective, how come they don't solve the problem? And if they're not solving the problem, why are you trying to pass more? It's not 4D chess, it's just common sense, but no, I mean, we can't expect it out of him.
Do their best to accompany young people in large, unsanctioned gatherings where weapons are likely to be present. There's always more we as adults can do to make sure that we know where our kids are and what they are doing. I recognize this feels like emotional whiplash. After this incredible celebration last night where
incredible celebration. I think he needs prison. He just does.
Of people gather. Chicagoans who were enjoying our tree lighting ceremony expressed their love for our city. It was peaceful. It was a joyous evening. A vision of the best of Chicago.
Oh, this was the best of Chicago. Good God, he's terrible.
The holiday season is a time when we come together as a city. It's when we spend time with our families and our loved ones. This is the opposite type of behavior that anybody wants to see. And when we have a setback like this, it just reminds us of the long road that we have to build the city that we all want to live in. We will continue to pray for the victims and their families. We will continue to pray for our city. This is an ongoing investigation and we'll provide the updates as we have them.
I somehow doubt that's going to be the case. Is this CWB Chicago? No, this is just, wait, this is the official messaging from Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson? Because someone said, oh my God, all the jump cuts. I'm like, yeah, I use this version because it had subtitles, and also the original version was like 8 minutes long. I didn't want to play that. But this was the official one from him, all the jump cuts. Absolute sheer absurdity. It is sad that's how bad it's gotten right now. But Donald Trump is finally addressing it, saying, this is Truth Social, saying, massive crime and rioting in the Chicago Loop area. Multiple police officers attacked and badly injured. 300 people rioting. Remember he said it was just a couple people? A couple bad actors? But it's 300 people rioting. 6 people shot. 1 critical and 1 dead. So probably another one going to pass, unfortunately. 6 of them shot, which is kind of a common occurrence for Chicago. They say, in the meantime, Governor Pritzker and low IQ mayor of Chicago are refusing federal government help for a situation that could be quickly remedied. The people chanting, bring in Trump. And the sad part is the National Guard being implemented will clean up real fast. Like how many people were saying as soon as the National Guard arrived in DC, they felt safe again. It was almost like a miraculous recovery. Oh, we could have peace. We could always have had peace. Like the rampant crime rates isn't just the default. They want this to happen, but sadly, he would rather have more kids get shot, more sacrifices to his garbage policies than Trump coming off as the good guy. That's how evil they've become. Because you see this over here. You have the guy that had 72 arrests. This is a video I did. 72 arrests, sets on fire the girl, and she loses. She's in critical right now. Now, I could have used her image, and one thing I just want to highlight is the girl, KM. We know who she is, but the family wants privacy. They don't want to say it because everybody's bringing up the fact that she was big on BLM. Like, does she deserve it? I don't think any of that. There's a lot of them trying to shove that in your face, but it's sad because we don't need that portion of it. We can just show you the judge that let this guy out, where the district attorney said, hey, he needs to be incarcerated. He's a danger to the society. And the judge says, oh, you know what? I can't throw everybody in jail just because the DA asked me to. Absolute, I think it's malpractice. But listen to her on how she describes how she does her job. It's actually disgusting.
I serve as vice president for the Office of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equal Opportunity.
The first time I came out on the bench and
well, that description doesn't make me think that they're actually there to hand out justice. Justice should be blind. No, are they more focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion? Because that's not how you get justice.
I serve as vice president for the Office of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equal Opportunity.
The first time I came out on the bench and the deputy announced, all rise, the Honorable Judge Teresa Molina, the whole courtroom stood up and I was all excited. He's walking out there, and I saw Illinois State Trooper. He was African American. He had a sleeve covering his tattoos, and he was standing there. And he looked at me, and he nodded, and I knew what that meant. And so I looked at him and I nodded back like, that's right, we're doing this. And it felt so good. It felt so good. So to me, a fine of $354, which is our normal no insurance fine, that's a lot of money. And some of the judges that I work with came from money, so $354 is no big deal. But to most of the people that come to my courtroom, it is a big deal. And so I always offer them the opportunity to do community service. You know, being a Latina in the office, people would tell me, like, don't you feel like you're prosecuting your own people? But
there you go. Don't you think you're prosecuting your own people? And she's like, no, because she's made it very clear she does not want to.
it's true. There were a lot of, defendants that look like me. However, I had a chance as a prosecutor to make a difference as to what cases come in. I had a chance as a prosecutor to decide what offers were appropriate.
Is she dismissing cases based on race? We need to start holding them accountable.
Always offer them the opportunity to do community service.
And this thing, okay, community service, that's one thing, whatever. But who said over there? Philo Rican saying, definitely not biased. And honestly, I've never gone through it, but I have had friends that have gone through like custody battles. And like, yeah, the judge was a female judge, never looked at me once during the proceedings. Or, oh, she was a female judge and just straight up said, woman should never not have the majority of custody. Like, the biased judges are literally a stain on our system. It's sad because I see this over in Chicago, and this is judges like her that don't want to put in people in jail that look like her because it's diversity, equity, and inclusion is why you have a subway system that not only worst case scenario you get lit on fire and you're fighting for your life in critical condition, you just have to coexist with this. Someone put music on it, but this guy's just there, just punching the gate, just going nuts. It's like, we don't have to live like this. Sad to say, is he harming anybody? No. Is he actually vandalizing the property? No. But does he deserve to be in prison? Does he deserve to be sequestered? Sequestered from society somewhere. Let it be a mental health care facility or a jail. Sad to say, he needs to be locked away. Because me, as a grown adult male, he poses a threat to me, yes. But likely he's not going to try to, like, knock me out. But my grandmother, kid sister, he is a very big danger to people that can't protect themselves. So he needs to be taken away from society, but you have so many of these diversity, equity, and inclusion judges that refuse to actually throw these people behind bars and just put the rest of society in jail alongside of them, because you're starting to see this over here from Chicago. This is how bad it's gotten. The mayor keeps on saying, oh, it's more peaceful than ever. No. If this isn't as worse, as bad as it's ever been, this is a travesty.
1,300 robberies, 5,200 felonies, theft, 16,400.
And I'm telling you right now, the murders, the shootings, they're there. You can't really cover that up. Even though they try to get rid of ShotSpotter, so they probably can juke that stat. But the robberies and the felony theft, how many times do you have someone saying, hey, I was robbed, and they say, hey, we'll come to the police station, or file a report online, or anything that's going to make it difficult for you, as difficult as possible for you to report that crime, so they can say, look, the crime was never reported, so you know what? Crime rates are down. Not because there's less crime, it's because the reporting of crime has gone down, and that's, I imagine, even if the crime rates are down statistically, in reality, they're much worse.
Well, whether it's the mayor or the police chief, I just be pissed off if I saw those numbers. I mean, enough is enough, Cata.
Well, we've been pissed off, and we became pissed off when Brandon Johnson actually took office and, moved to remove police officers from our Chicago public schools. And, we're seeing this violence. We're seeing it being perpetrated with our youth. So we know that there's an issue with youth, and we know that it is starting in the schools.
Because once you tell these kids, you know what, you're just kids, we can't prosecute you because, you're just, what was the quote that he had in the very beginning? Where is it? When you tell the kids this, you're giving them a license to do whatever.
They're young. Sometimes they make silly decisions. They do.
So when they shoot each other in the streets, you call it a silly decision, and then you wonder why they make more, quote, silly decisions. It's a travesty, but what is he focused on? What is he focused on? The thing that Jasmine Crockett says, the Democrats don't ever talk about immigration. Now here he is pretty much making this his focus while there's kids losing their lives in the streets.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration.
Out of control administration, not the kids in his streets, not the crime, not the murders. That's all under control. It's Donald Trump delivering on his campaign promises. That's the issue.
The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
It's more virtue signaling because he can't stop those raids. This is like a private business saying the local police can't stage in their parking lot. It's like they're cops. They can do what they want as long as they're serving in like a legal capacity. The federal government can come over, supersede the state government and enforcing federal law. Like, he just doesn't understand basic civics, but it's not that he doesn't understand basic civics. It's just he's virtue signaling to his people because he's too afraid of giving Donald Trump, spooky Donald Trump, a simple win. It's sad, but that's all they have right now. Yeah, the ICE-free zones, in other words, federal obstruction. ICE-free zones mean nothing. It means nothing. Oh, come back with the warrants. It's like, no, they're probable cause are coming in. They haven't been working outside of probable cause before. That's just more Democrat virtue signaling and misrepresenting what's actually happening in our streets. Yes, they do want to destroy America, and it's sad. Yeah, that's totally going to work. No, it is not. Yeah, what are you not interested in saying Chinese have police stations all over America? Is like, yeah, we have a lot of things that are against the law. We shouldn't be doing them. I'm sorry, no, China shouldn't be doing that here, but crime occurs. You would like to think we have like an omnipotent police force to stop all evil, but it just still happens. But now Chicago is saying, well, because it's coming from Trump, we can't allow that. Yeah. ICE-free zone just means gathering illegals. That's exactly what I thought. Like when they say this is a two-way free zone, that just means, hey, if you're a violent criminal, here's a soft target. This is not what we want to announce to the world. Yeah. So, in other news of terrible Democrat politicians, you have Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York City, meeting with Donald Trump. And this has got them losing their minds on the left. It's actually kind of hilarious where he's essentially campaigned against him and now doing photo ops with him. But before we talk about the interview they had together, it's hilarious where Mamdani, not even in office, not even out there to deliver on all the free things he campaigned on, he is again asking for more money like Bernie Sanders.
My friends, it is fall
Let me
in New York. The leaves, they are changing. The air, it is crisp. But one thing that stays the same is we still need you to donate to
The one thing that stays the same with socialist politicians. Everything can change. But we're still grifting, guys.
Transition2025.com. So head there, give whatever you can. Maybe leave a donation.
And the thing is, you had other ads about him doing this. Someone stitched a bunch of them together. One of them was him complaining that Mayor Eric Adams, when he won New York City, they out fundraised him by several $1 million. He's like, whoa, how come you guys, the guys that voted for a socialist, that were voting for free buses, free rent, free food, free healthcare, how come I haven't received millions of dollars? What's up with you guys? They combined them all. Hopefully it has that part.
Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment.
I thought everything was free. Like landlords are evil. Why do you need us to pay for this stuff? It should be one way, government giving to people. Remember who said there's no problem too small for the government to fix? What happened to that, guys?
Still asking for your help because we need to raise $4 million in total. So January 1st can be the day we start to deliver, not start to prepare.
Deliver? They voted for free shit, not $4 million to you.
I hope very soon not to have to ask you for money. But until then, I'm asking. Leaves.
That's constantly. So as soon as he's gotten elected, he's asking for money. And also, his promise of free buses is falling apart like almost instantaneously.
Talking about fast and free buses and you're meeting with the governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA.
What's with that weird smile? Like is that, I guess I'm not like a body language specialist, but what is that? What is that? Are people buying that that's a real smile?
The governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA. You want to put money back in. It's something that she agrees with, right? We don't want to take away money from the MTA.
Yes.
How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free, into the MTA if she's not for raising
And it's going to cost more than $700 million.
Taxes.
You know, I think that the two clearest ways to raise that money is through the raising of the state's corporate tax to match that of New Jersey. I think that a lot of this is still a case to be made.
They said no. Look, I know it's not going to happen, but I'm still promising that.
Whether it's the corporate tax or whether it's the personal income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year or more, I think that these are the clearest ways. I've also said that if there are other ways to raise
We're going to tax the corporations that are going to flee the state. Good job, guy.
Funding, the most important fact is that we fund it, not the question of how we do it. But
the most important thing is that it happens, not how we do it. You're literally living in a fantasy world. The most important thing is I get that $4 million, not the fact that you have to give it to me, and I'm not gonna give you anything back. Because best case scenario, no free buses. That was a pipe dream. Worst case scenario is for his people, not for us, for his people. He aligns himself with Donald Trump. This has got to be like the ultimate betrayal for your classic New York liberal, college-educated female saying, I voted against fascism. And here he is like, oh, hey, Trump, we're buddies now. And Donald Trump's even singing his praises. And I'll tell you why this is a good thing.
Well, thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well.
Nothing bad with that.
I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people.
Both of them aren't smart. If Sliwa, I don't know how to pronounce his name. If Sliwa or Cuomo, either one of them were smart, one of them would have dropped out. They maybe would have stood a chance against Mamdani. Neither of those guys are smart.
Starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily, and I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down.
Yeah, so he's saying, the better he does, the happier I am, regardless of party. Some people are like, why is Donald Trump kissing up to Mamdani? It's like, no, the same way I saw President Biden winning the presidency in 2020. I feel like it's like me being a Dodger fan. If the Dodgers signed Juan Soto, I think he's not a garbage player, he's talented. I think he's a garbage player. I don't want him on my team. But if Juan Soto signs with the Dodgers, I want him to have an MVP caliber season. I don't want to say, you're such a bad guy that I want the Dodgers to lose. No, I want my team to win. The same way I want Joe Biden when he got in office. I was like, look, I think he's a terrible person. I think Obama's presidency was terrible. But I want America to be good. So hopefully Biden gets his shit together. He didn't do it, but the same thing with Trump saying, I hope Mamdani does a good job. Because I don't want New Yorkers to suffer. I still want America to win. And the thing is, though, is, yes, that's how you should have your approach to this. You should want them to win. But also, the closer you get to Mamdani, the more his own base is going to turn on him. Because you see this over here. Almost instantaneously, they say, hey, look, Mamdani, you were calling Trump a fascist. Why would you, if he's literally Hitler, why would you sit down and hang out with him all smiling and take a little a photo op with him? If he's so literally Hitler, kidnapping and disappearing people, why are you doing this?
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Mm-hmm. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Trump is just Teflon Don. I don't care. You call me a fascist. Like, I've been called worse things. He's been called worse things. Whatever. And they're all laughing about it. And he's just sitting there hanging out with them buddy. And then here he is as soon as Trump isn't within earshot, just going in on him. And the thing is, though, is no matter what he says here on NBC's Meet the Press, or is this CNN? I forget. Whatever. The Peacock. If he's on this Meet the Press show, doesn't matter what he says here because they haven't seen him here. He can virtue signal all he wants. His base will not forget.
NYPD would be the ones to do so.
In that press conference with President Trump, a reporter asked you whether you believe that President Trump is in fact a fascist, a word that you've used in the past. You were about to answer, then President Trump sort of jumped in and he said, quote, "That's okay, you can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." So, Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear,
Feet to the fire. What are you going to say?
Do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do.
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say
you say it, but you don't mean it. Because if you meant it, you wouldn't be doing this. Again, this sunk him so badly. And that's why Trump sat down with him, sung his praises, because it's a trap.
Today, and I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
You've also said in the
what in the world carambula nonsense was that?
Past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a threat?
She's calling him out. It's like, why would you sit down with him if you believe this? And now he has to sit here and lie.
To the democracy?
Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics.
It's damaging to his career. It's letting them know that even though he says it, I still believe it. This is burned into their memory.
We don't shy away from where we have disagreements, but we understand what it is that brings us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers. And a few weeks ago, I was asked by...
They still need that Fed cash. He's going to want a Fed bailout. And Trump is such a softie, he might do it.
A reporter, 3 words to describe myself. I said, New York City. And that's what animated that conversation. How do we deliver for the people of New York City?
I think that some of your supporters would be curious to know. You say you stand by your past statements that, yes, he's a threat to the democracy. How do you square working with...
How is he a threat to democracy when he won the popular vote and we live in a constitutional republic? They say all this nonsense because they don't really believe it. He says he's a fascist when he doesn't really believe it. They say he's a threat to democracy when this is democracy in action.
Someone who you still think is a threat to the democracy.
I think working for the people of New York City demands that you work with everyone and anyone, and that you always look...
Including fascists?
...to find those areas of agreement while not overlooking the places of disagreement.
Buzzwords,
and I think this was something that came up in our meeting. We spoke about immigration. We spoke about the fact that in New York City, we have sanctuary city policies that allow for the city to work with the federal government on around 170 serious crimes. The concern for so many New Yorkers comes about anything beyond that. And I spoke about the importance of us being able to protect New Yorkers, and some of the incidents that we see, they do not do that.
He's not going to, if he can't deliver on the free buses, he's not going to deliver on that part too. It's sad because it's getting so bad. But shout out to Jack Posobiec for calling him out about taxing white neighborhoods at a higher rate and just really pushing him. He doesn't let him get out of this.
Protesters.
Jack?
Mr. President, I want to know one of the policies as well that Mayor-elect Mamdani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention anything about America.
He's like, hey, you covered for me on the fascist thing. He's coming in here with hate. Bail me out. And Trump's like, yeah, nah, you answer this one.
America or Christians or white people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so
carambula nonsense.
So inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our city.
That didn't answer the question. What the fuck was he even saying?
Continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
that's what you said.
No, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
But he was still going to do it. I don't intend to do it, but that's the plan.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also...
What a snake. Well, he's a prime politician. And in front of these guys, it's not happening. In front of those guys, it isn't. In front of NBC, Trump's a fascist. In front of Trump, they're buddy-buddy. It's all slime.
Also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. But they're buddies now. Look at it. Just look at this. People say 4D chess all the time. I honestly think this is Trump sinking his ship.
Mr. Mamdani, does New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable, and I can tell you that there were more.
Do they love Trump? They love affordability. There's more of that psychobabble nonsense that he said that he can't deliver on. It's more important that it's a future you can afford than the nuts and bolts of actually making it affordable. He already got your votes, and he's going to get you $4 million too. New York is cooked.
More New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living, and I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're buddy. They're so together. And then you have, what is it? Rashida Tlaib? I forget how to pronounce her name, but she's a congresswoman. It's like, what the heck just happened? What happened? I love it. They're going to eat each other alive. Just how, like, when AOC did some sort of meet with Senator Chuck Schumer, and they say, hey, AOC, are you going to run for Schumer's seat in Senate? And they both got, like, indignant. Oh, I would never. No. It's like Schumer saw her in his rearview mirror from a mile away. He knows she's coming for her. That's why he says he's not running for re-election, because AOC's going to take it. There's going to be a lot of infighting right now. But, yeah. We already saw the threat to democracy thing. But it's crazy that, you have this. Just play a small clip of it. But they know what this is. They know it's socialism. They know it's communism. You have a California representative, Young Kim. I'll let her say. She lived through the horrors of communism, and she's speaking truth.
Thank you, Chairman. It's such an honor to stand here to strongly support the House Concurrent Resolution 9. As a Korean American who grew up in the aftermath of the Korean War, I have witnessed the horrors of socialism firsthand.
And notice the people that nobody that's lived through socialism is voting for it again. It's always college-educated liberals thinking, oh my God, socialism's going to be so good. Mamdani promised free buses. Not how he's going to make them free, but just Mamdani said this is going to happen, so obviously I want this. Nobody that's lived through it actually votes for it.
I always say, if you want to see the difference between socialism and freedom, just look at the Korean Peninsula at night. Yes. South Korea shines with opportunity.
Yes.
North Korea is trapped in darkness. Time and time again throughout history, socialism has led to disaster, starvation, imprisonment, and the death of over 100 million people worldwide.
And New Yorkers proudly voted for it. They said hot girls for Zoran.
Those horrors. My mother-in-law risked her life crossing the DMZ lines multiple times to rescue loved ones from the North Korean regime. To this day, tens of thousands of Korean families remain separated by a system that tears apart communities and crushes basic human dignity.
And here's the thing, okay, you can play the whole thing, but the crazy part is, in California, Governor Newsom wants to silence her, wants to redraw the district lines to make certain that she can no longer be our representative. Anybody that can actually speak out against Mamdani and give us cold hard facts as to why this system doesn't work is now going to lose their congressional seat, because the Democrats are just, they're cheating. Like, initially, Prop 50 was going to say, if Texas redraws their congressional lines, that means that California can as well, to recoup those 5 congressional seats they'll lose to the Republicans in the House of Representatives. They took that out last minute, so now even if Texas, which it doesn't seem like Texas is going to redraw the maps right now because of the federal judge blocking it, but California's still going to do it. They want to get rid of all the people that could speak out against it. It is insane. They've been stealing our votes. It's sad. I think Newsom's career is over just because of the fires and everything that's coming out from it. Yeah. That's the thing, is like Koreazilla says, I'm Korean, thanks Dad that I was born and raised in the USA. It's insane how the left always wants to paint us, oh my God, you're Korean, so the Democrats should own you, not knowing that we're not a monolith. We don't all think the same exact way. Remember Joe Biden, or was it Jill Biden, saying, unlike the black community, the Latino community is as diverse. They're as diverse as breakfast tacos, or something to that effect. Like, the insane thing that they just think they own us by default, but it's like, no, it's like, people that have gone through communism, like the Vietnamese first and second generation immigrants. Those are like the most MAGA people possible because they lived through communism. Like, it's insane they think they just own us. And what was it? Was it Joe Biden or Jill Biden that said the Latino community is like breakfast tacos? It was the most insane thing. Oh wow, Young Kim's 63 years old. Again, looking great for being 63. Me, I mean, I feel like I'm aging more recently. Like, you don't see it, but I have some gray hairs here. My facial hair, if you ever met me in person, my beard is very red, like crimson red. But I'm getting more gray hair, so hopefully I'll age like her. Yeah, Joe Biden said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me." The fact that he didn't lose, well, he actually did lose a large percentage of black male votes. So yeah. Yeah, X got exposed for being a whole bunch of trolls from other countries. It's sad. It's crazy how like they want to frame it as like, oh, racist, that, you know, we don't want to hear a whole bunch of opinions from people from Pakistan, India, and I forgot what other big country they had over there, but just all these other countries telling us about how American politics should work. It's like, no, they're cosplaying as Americans, saying, I live in Texas, and here's why I think MAGA is done. It's like, no, it's not that we are racist and we don't want to hear your opinion on things. But you're trying to speak on behalf of us when you're not us. That's what was the issue with Reddit. I will read the super chats at the very end of this show because I'm like on so many different platforms right now. So I'll read it at the very end. At China, yeah. Surprisingly, not a lot of bots from China over here. No, it was India, it was Pakistan. I forgot where else. There was another country that was popping up a lot. There was like people pretending to be Americans. Oh yeah, Joe Biden saying, "Look here, fat." Yeah. Yeah. He's saying you go on a blue sky and crazy people agree with your comments. It's insane to me that on YouTube, people will say like I'm a moderate. You see people talk about me on Reddit, they're like, "Oh my god, he's an alt-right person," or whatever. But when my content was getting mirrored over on BitChute, those guys are like, "Oh my god, this filthy liberal, blah blah blah, he's an idiot." And I'm like, wow, like it really is like a perception of like, you know, where they stand. It's like, yeah, it's insane how bad Blue Sky, BitChute, all these places will get. Oh yeah, Nigeria. There you go. It was Nigeria, Pakistan, and India. Most of the bots were there. Like it's crazy. Like a long time ago, I was trying to find an editor for YouTube. No longer trying to look for that right now. I do all my, like, Decoy Voice is just a one-man operation. I can't hand any of that stuff off. It loses its quality. But a while ago, I asked YouTube, like, oh, on Twitter, how do I find a good editor? And all of a sudden, my inbox got flooded with gorgeous white women that happened to be editors that had the word GFX in their account. Like, oh, video editor, Stacy, Patty, I don't know, just standard white girl names. And they're all like, oh my god, I do editing, I'll do a free video for you. Just my inbox had like 20 of them right off the bat. And I was like, how there's no possible way. There's just this abundance of people from here, all pretty white girls specifically, that all want to edit my videos. I was like, this makes no sense. And now that I went back through my Twitter and I was like, I found those things, all those graphics accounts are now like profile picture of Indian men. Like they knew what it was. They was trying to grift it. I don't understand why they thought I'd be more susceptible to that, when obviously they wouldn't be lurking the internet at like any hour of the day to respond to me within seconds to say, you need a video editor? All your videos. It's like, no, this is totally not, it's not real. They really all were that. And it's sad because it's like, look, I would be open to hiring one of them if it didn't seem like a scam. If you came to me and said, hey, here, I did a sample edit of your video. Do you like it? It's an Indian guy, has an Indian name, whatever. He's just desperate for work. I'd respect that hustle. But not if it's, hey, I'm a pretty girl. Here, it just, you know it's going to be a scam. And here's the thing, is Decoy no family member that can edit? I don't want to like make it like, it's hard to, you guys probably hear because you watch Decoy Voice. Decoy Voice has such a specific vibe to it. I don't want to say it's hard to hard to replicate because it's not. But honestly, there's like subtle things like in timing when I'm editing a video. Sometimes I'll think of a different joke or add something into it. It's very hard for me to say, hey, here's a script, here's a recording, here's the B-roll. Add this together. People just they get it wrong in weird places. No, here's the thing. It's like, what if it's H1B or whatever? It's like, look, I would want the best talent possible, but sad to say, if English is a second language, you're likely not going to get the timing, the comedy, the social cue, like the social references. It's not going to work. Yeah. All right. So last topic today before we get to super chats is Hasan Piker. I don't know if this is a real image. Is this a real image, chat? Did he really sit down with President Xi? I'm guessing his wife. Chat, is this real? Like, I can't. Because if this is real, at this point in time, this was just full on propaganda. Is it fake? You think it's real? Is it wax figures? It does look like wax figures. Oh, did he sit down? If he sat down with wax figures to take a picture, it almost makes it worse. Because then he didn't sit down with somebody to have a speech. He's just sitting there. So maybe he's just trolling. Okay. So maybe Hasan's just trolling here. But then he's not trolling with his post talking about put it on Mabubu. I don't know if he's making a meme about Labubu, but he's at the horse races. And someone zoomed in right here saying that he put down $4,000 and made, I think, $40,000 on a horse. But the idea of this is the guy that said, make the rich pay. Like his whole shtick is socialism, champagne socialism. Oh my God, the rich are bad. And here he is flexing, making $40,000 at the horse races. Now, the funny thing is, wait, oh, I don't have, here it is. The funny thing is his chat is going nuts on him because he went to the horse races and it can be perceived as animal cruelty. There are certain aspects of horse racing that they do that are pretty horrendous to the animals. It's sad, but there's a humane way to do horse races. There's like, you can treat them right, especially if it's like a thoroughbred. It could be fine, but his audience is turning on him, which it's sad to think that they're drawing the line at horse races, at him just attending a horse race, not even partaking in it when he is. I think it's likely. I believe he did shock his dog. Maybe he didn't. We don't have proof. But the idea is on stream, most people believe he's just been electrocuting his dog to keep it in place. Now it doesn't sit there mysteriously, but they're drawing the line of him going to horse races. Absolute insanity. But again, that's why we're on Twitch, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of disaffected people looking for other places to land at. But now they're saying, hey, look, even if this is trolling, even if these are wax statues right here, here he is singing the praises of China because of Star Trek. I wish I was joking.
You said something interesting because, I was born in the Soviet Union, so we both have direct experience of socialism in various shapes and forms. You talked about, well, there's positives and there's negatives. So is there a country that's done socialism the way that you like?
I would say that
if you love socialism so much, you should have that answer on the tip of your tongue in the chamber. The fact that he doesn't and he's struggling tells you everything.
I am hypercritical of all forms of governance, including the American one. I think that's not a...
He said, what part of socialism works? He started talking about America. There it is.
A surprise to you guys, right? And
literally living and sitting here on paradise.
And in that same vein, I think there is critiques to apply to all forms of governance, even socialist ones.
Yeah.
And
again, the whole thing, like when he was in China, he's like, hey, look, there are criticisms you can make about China. He didn't make any, but he says there are criticisms. He's saying there are criticisms you can make about socialism. Not going to make any.
As far as getting closer to what I think has been relatively successful, because if ultimately the point of government is to improve the material conditions of all people to the best of your ability. It's not...
No, it should be of getting out of the way of people.
Always going to be perfect, but when you are getting, I don't know, the poorest people, the poorest of the dispossessed masses out of a situation where they were servile, the landed gentry, or they were peasants from an agrarian society, or they were dominated by the landlords, but then ultimately they were able to to come
into nonsense. Good God.
Modernity and become like a powerhouse, an industrial powerhouse that is competitive with the largest superpower on the planet. I would say if that's the point of good governance, and I think you guys might agree with me on that, I would say China is probably the...
How much abject poverty does China have that he's just conveniently ignoring? How much, I wouldn't say fascistic, I would say communism. How much silencing of dissenting voices, throwing people in prison, like how much of that, or what is it? I can't even think of the word right now. It's so, but how many humanitarian atrocities are occurring over there? And he's saying, you know what? That's okay because it's China doing it. If anything that China did was happening in America, he'd be throwing a fit. But because it's China and he wants to go there, it's okay.
Closest, and there are still plenty of failures within the Chinese system as well, plenty of issues within the Chinese system as well, but that's probably the closest I would say to an example that we should follow.
We should follow what China does. So I hope I so hope Hassan's just hanging out somewhere by like a national park, or he's like at a tourist spot in a California. He's over by the Walk of the Stars in Hollywood, and some U.S. soldier shakes him down saying, "What's going on here? Open up your phone. Let me see. Look through it." Whatever happened to him over in China, I hope it happens over here too, and see if he has a consistent virtues against how China controls their country.
And lessons that we should learn from. This is something that I talk about quite a bit. Ironically enough, we only utilize some of the most repressive elements of Chinese governance here in the United States of America, especially in the second Trump administration, and none of the good stuff.
I would like to know what exactly he's referring to there.
We don't have any high-speed rail. We don't have any even development.
Okay, so in the socialist utopia that is California, all the tax dollars being collected, Newsom's been promising this high-speed rail. Has it been built? If it hasn't, then obviously it's not working.
There is seemingly nothing to look forward to in America in terms of economic prosperity, in terms of...
Look at this. They're literally sitting in a paradise overlooking the city. He has a multi-million-dollar mansion. I forgot how expensive his vehicle is. I believe the chain he's wearing is Louis Vuitton. He has his always decked out in designer gear. And he's saying nobody's doing well economically.
Overall health of society in terms of scientific achievements. And I think a lot of younger people also feel the same way, where
they prey on the people that don't understand the world, that haven't actually had life experience, because they know they're too naive to know socialism doesn't work.
Feel like there's nothing to look forward to here. And I'll give you guys an example from the UK. I remember seeing this TikTok of this guy that goes around and is like asking young British people, would they serve in the British military? And I am not even remotely nationalistic by any measure. I don't care about those sorts of things. But I think it's important to understand, like, it's a good way to see the temperature of society. And a lot of...
Yes, and that's the issue, is you have these massive open borders. They come over here, they want to use all these social services, but as soon as something breaks out, like the war in Ukraine, you had all those people coming in from Africa that have been living in Ukraine for years, collecting social services. As soon as Russia invaded, they were like, no, this isn't my war. I'm leaving. I'm going to Europe now. I'm fleeing. And it's like, you don't want to say, you need to die in our wars to live in our country. But also, you cannot have a large population of people that will drain on your resources, but will not stand up for that country that's giving them their resources. It's just incompatible.
The young British people were like, no, why would I fight for England?
That's an issue. But yeah, I guess I just overlooked it. But the portion where he said, you know, what do they do stuff? It's like Star Trek. Or maybe it was a different video. Was this? Actually, no. It's a different video where he said the best version of socialism is like in Star Trek. And it's like, yeah, that's... If your best case scenario for why your system works is a utopia that they literally can beam together food, maybe your system isn't as successful as you think. Yeah, same interview, different clip. I'm not going to pull it up right now. I feel like we're like 2 hours in right now, and I still need to get to the super chats. And thanks, Neobach Truck, saying if you like and subscribe if you like the channel. So let's go ahead. We're gonna first hit the decaf decoy super chats, if there are any at all, because you guys don't need the super chat. We're perfectly fine. If you guys see ads during the videos, that's enough for you to all the support I need. Let's go to the live over in decaf decoy. Let's get to some super chats over there. Yeah, oh wow, we had a big one. Okay, so let's see. So over here on just a three. Thank you, Tuckin Muffin, for the super huge super chat. Just saying fart, but I mean that's huge. Thank you so much. Sturgeon says coworker said he's unemployed for free med visit. Don't know what that is. It's probably what we were talking about in the moment, but thank you for that. And the Tangy Man says Greasy Gavin is the fascist. Yeah, everybody seems to forget Gavin Newsom is constantly complaining about how much of a fascist Donald Trump is. But remember during COVID, all the lockdowns he was trying to do, it was very fascistic of what he was trying to accomplish inside the state. So yeah. Let's see. Wait. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm trying to look at Twitch. I've never been on Twitch before, so let's try to figure out how to get to them. I saw people were gifting things on Twitch. How do I find that? Creator dashboard, probably? Creator dashboard. Where would I find it? Because I saw that people gifted things. Alerts, maybe? No, not that. Activity feed. Where's my activity feed? Analytics. Not that. Community. Activity. There it is. Oh, I did not run... I didn't run scheduled commercial breaks. I still haven't figured out Twitch. So it's not that. Monetization? No. No, my activity feed just shows when I ran ads. I did not mean to run ads. Clicked on the top of the chat banner. Oh, so I go back to my channel. Go to my channel. Stop this. Community. Chat setting, no, not that. Mod view, shield mode, channel points. Okay, not drops. Dismiss that. Stream chat. Oh, wait, notifications? No. Click the top of the chat banner. I don't see that, though. It's just stream chat. I see that. I don't see anything else. Scroll to the top of the chat. It's not there. It's just community. It says who's here. That's it. Under the word stream chat. No, oh, yeah. Oh, that right there. So, okay, we have weekly top gifters. Thank you, Killinator, for 5 gifted subs, and Throne for 5 gifted subs. That's huge. Thank you. I guess we got some bits from K to Prime, 100 bits. I don't know what a bit is. JC Jambo, thank you. And Neobox Truck, thank you for that. But you would think that it would be, there was more than that, but I think that's it, right? Should show a ticker. Yeah, I see the ticker of like who's been gifting stuff, so maybe it was just that. Go to Creator Dashboard. It only shows the top 3. Okay, so Creator Dashboard, there should be something, maybe in like monetization, like who's... Not that. Viewer rewards, no. Alerts. Could be just an alerts, right? Oh, I think I need to make an alert box of that. Oh, gifted subscriptions. Nah, I guess I need to make it. It only shows the top 3. That kind of sucks then. Then I can't see, like, I can't go back and recap to see that. But I guess it's more, oh, here we go. Yeah, so here it is. Third-party events, no. Plus program goal, okay. Yeah, oh, so thank you, Shady Lurker, for subscribing with Prime. Meister GN for your Prime sub, thank you. Throne204 gave 5 community subs, thank you. Yeah, JC Jambo gave me some bits. Tomzer became a member for 1 month at tier 1, thank you. Buzzkill gave me the Prime sub. Killinator donated 5 Prime subs. Neobox Truck gave me some bits. Foolish Us gave me a Prime sub. Thank you. The Real Barbits and also Killinator became tier 1 subs. Thank you. Hot Sausage gave me a Prime sub. Nearbox Truck more bits. Casey's Back gave me a tier 1 sub. Thank you. Troglodyte became a tier 1 sub. We have a Hype Train. What is a Hype Train? Does anybody know what a Hype Train is? I've seen it. I saw what was it? The girl that was on MXR Plays. She did like a Hype Train stream. Was it Hype Train? It was a subathon. I don't know. A lot of stuff that's on Twitch that I don't understand quite yet. Gifted subs in a row. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Uncle Big Bad became a channel member. Chimer Shadow became a Prime sub. Thank you. Nearbox Truck with more bits. I had a Hype Train. X Viper with a Prime sub. MC Yeet with a Prime sub. Thank you. These Prime subs are huge. Thanks. If you guys haven't already, if you're on, if you have Amazon Prime but don't watch on Twitch, I'm, at twitch.tv/decoy. You can give me like a free $5 a month subscription just with your Amazon Prime account. You just attach it, say you want to subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything because you already have Amazon Prime. So I appreciate that. Kata Prime with the bits. Smiley 3D with the Prime sub. Thank you. So just making sure you guys all got it. And thanks for following me over there. I think when I first started my my Twitch channel, I think before I had like maybe 100 followers over there, and now I have 250 followers. So it's pretty cool that you guys are all watching here. So let me go over to, I think the only thing else I have to, no. Let's see. Where are my, do I have, yeah, no gifted things over there. So let me just go head over to Decoy Voice, because I feel like that's where all the activity's probably going to be, and I don't want to miss you guys over there. Oops. Yes, when I was with Mally Mouse, there was a Twitch. I think I was quadcasting at the time, so I likely, if you guys are just following me on Decoy Voice and want to watch more live streams, what's going to happen is we're not going to live stream on Decoy Voice anymore. It's just going to be Decaf Decoy. It's going to be the other platforms. So if you guys want to see more of this stuff, make sure you're following me over there. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we got a lot of these right now. So Johnny B. Casual says, past tense of duck is Dak. A lot of people don't know that. Appreciate that. Tempest Daniel became a super huge channel member, so thank you, Decoy Commander. That's the highest tier over there, so I appreciate that. Tempest Kanyo TCG trading card game. I think that's what it means. 5 Decoy Voice memberships. So he's giving me the top tier membership and also voice memberships. Appreciate that. KG says, keep doing what you're doing. You've been on fire lately. Yeah, I feel like we've kind of been on a nice little vibe of like covering the serious topics. I do want to cover some like not so serious topics later on, but we'll get there. KJX says, if you hear anybody from the law, cop or any kind, they say, if you ignore our instructions or stand in the way of our job, we'll take lethal actions. Would you react? Yeah, because I'm not trying to I'm trying to comply. Like, what does Tim Pool say? Like, you can fight the ticket, you can fight him in court, but you can't fight him in the street. You have to comply. Sad to say. Thank you, Tempest, again for gifting more Decoy Voice memberships. And also Cameron English saying, Brit Bong here, how much weight did you lose from cutting out drinkable calories? I would say I probably lost like 5 pounds from drinkable calories, but the big weight loss I had was when I went to OMAD. 1 meal a day. I probably lost like 15 pounds. Like you see my face, it kind of gets a little chubby. I don't have that much weight on me, but I was able to cut a lot very quickly, 1 meal a day. If you're into like coffee, like Americanos, it's easy to kind of suppress your appetite with that, having a couple of those throughout the day. But once you can get on OMAD, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving you medical advice, but for me, my experience was OMAD helped me drop a lot. Hack Toaster says, are you aware of an extremely racist Japanese troll who became an elected official for saying radical racist stuff against the Chinese, saying how they're a lower life form and a waste of life? I honestly would wonder if that's what the media is saying they're saying, or if that's genuinely what she's saying, because I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. Graph Graph TJB says, thank you for being yourself. So to pay for lunch, thank you, $40. Yeah, that's an amazing lunch I can have. So thank you so much for that. Omega Supreme with Cheese says, keep a theme with the tats. Last thing you wanted to do is look like a NASCAR with random crap. And that's one thing I would always say is like when I got tattoos, I would see a lot of homeless people around. And I'm like, homeless people get a lot of tattoos. How do I differentiate myself from them? And one of my employees at the time was like, yeah, because they get random ass shit. Like they buy a tattoo gun off Amazon, or they use like a big pen and a lighter. They get random stupid stuff. It's like, if you just have a theme that's very intense, has intent, you'll look fine. Like honestly, I thought I was going to do both sleeves when I got it done. But honestly, there's a look of, at least to me, one sleeve, chest, maybe my back. That's like intention. Just blasting everything is just like a different vibe. Hack Toaster says, I love a daily dose of radicalization from me. I feel like I'm always genuinely about turning the temperature down. I'm not big on, like, you know, they're out to get us or this or that. I'm like, hey, here's what's happening. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at some video ourselves and just be regular people. Like, we're not super against the left. We're not going to attack them or whatever. Like, I always use the example of, if you ever go to 24-hour fitness and play a game or pick up basketball, I'm certain you're out there playing the game, having fun with people that have very, very different political beliefs than you. But you could still sit back and have a good time because the world isn't the internet. Massive Doge says, this summer Decoy voice speaks in a regular voice. I mean, this is my regular voice. It's just not what it is on Decoy voice during the videos. You know, that's the movie preview voice to keep people into it. Yetified Growth says, love the channel. Keep up the good vibes, brother. Thank you so much. Johns9652 says, there's only one VTuber I follow. He does it to stay anonymous. He calls himself Nuxanor and actually clips you sometimes. Yeah, Nux, he's a cool guy. He watches my channel all the time. So he seems super, super nice. The Airbox Truck says, like and subscribe, support Decoy. Thank you for that. Omega Supreme with Cheese says, yo, the best is the British Broadcasting Company from the UK trying to be politically correct, has a patois filter on their stories. It's actually hilarious. I was not aware of that. Also said, deport them all, thick Latinas get saved. I remember there was a meme, and they said, if the only thing we got from other countries was like, you know, thick Latinas and petite, pretty Asian girls, the whole liberal left would think of this very differently. And I'm like, yeah, it's a meme, it's funny, but how true would that be? Drop Barracuda says, the right of the people to keep and bear mace. I mean, being able to have self-defense is one thing. Go out there and buy bear mace, especially if you live in an area that has bears, because they can end you pretty fast. But buying bear mace to attack federal officers should get you thrown in prison instantaneously. His wife had a restraining order against him one time, John says. Who are we talking about? It must have been something, I forget. That was probably we were talking. John says, go to a Walmart around tax time. See, crazy how busy the Western Union desk is. I mean, tax season just wrecking all of us, guys. Jason Mulgren says, California spent $16 billion on healthcare for illegals this year. Somalis in Minnesota sent more money back to Somalia than the entire GDP of Somalia. It's insane how, who's that girl? Ilhan Omar said, Somalians are the fabric of the country. And it's like, no, nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that. Johns with a super huge super chat says, that reporter talks about international law, actually. By the law, asylum seekers are supposed to go to the nearest neighboring country first. That's why at Eagle Pass, Texas, thousands of IDs were found laying on the ground. Yeah, exactly. They cannot be passing through Mexico to seek asylum over here. They need to go to the nearest country, and also, they can come here. I mean, they shouldn't come here. But when they come here, they shouldn't expect SNAP benefits, free housing, like the Democrats are promising them. Hollow Chicklet says, if you were to look at the people who went viral on TikTok for being upset about food stamps, most of them were overweight. It was a very, very red pill moment for people to see exactly who's receiving benefits and how much benefits they are and what those benefits were used on. It shouldn't be for DoorDash. It shouldn't be for sodas. It shouldn't be for candy. It should be for Nutriloaf. Omega Supreme with Cheese says, once those SNAP and WIC pennies go away, they'll go back to pre-inflation pricing. Win-win. I don't know what this means. I'm too old, guys. Hollow Chicklet says, you can get energy drinks at 7-Eleven with EBT. Some people are getting $1,500 a month. You can eat steak every night on that. Also, kitchens always hire ex-cons. Exactly. There's work he can do. It's just not glamorous work. And also, I always talk about the Food for Less that was near me was just nonstop. Any hour of the day, you can find somebody out there willing to sell you food stamps for like pennies on the dollar. And even like me, when I was younger, they're like, hey, look, I'll buy you liquor if you just, buy my food stamps off me. And it's like, it was a messed up system. It was broken. Cody Hole says, life is a gift and God is good. Thank you for that very much. Redonk says, sometimes they make silly decisions. A silly decision is the silly decision. So anyway, I started blasting, and he's talking about in Chicago where the mayor says, these kids make silly decisions after they just murdered another kid at a peaceful meetup. Omega Supreme says, less police, more social workers, go full player versus player server. New York City's about to find out. All these cops resigning again, even after the COVID resigning. New York City's about to find out. Cody Hall says America's all we have, and it's true because I forgot who said it, but they were talking about how if the Korean government falls, America's going to bail them out. If a tsunami hits Haiti, America's going to bail them out. If the American government falls, nobody's coming for us. There's no aircraft carrier that's going to help, rebuild. We're done. That's it. That's all the free world. That's the only free world we have left. America. Unwanted Ghost says, those who refuse to learn from history are doomed, and people are just repeating it right now. It's true. Cody Hall says, united we stand, divided we fall. Yes, it is. And then also Cody Hall says, he looks like a bad divorce. I don't know who he's talking about. Thank you, Bite Deity, for the super huge super chat saying, are you aware of the ID age verification? Laws have been rolled out across multiple countries. It started in the UK, but seems to be adopted at a rapid pace in other countries. It is frightening that politicians think doxing yourself is okay. It's all going to be to bring in social credit. Anything that's digital ID related, it's going to be used as a social credit score for us. That's why they're trying to start to add it to Apple devices. Port your ID on your Apple device. The same thing. Port your Vax card on your Apple device. It's all bad. Cody Hall says Vance 2028. I hope so. Hopefully he doesn't disappoint us during his vice presidency, because if it's not JD Vance, I don't think we have anybody else on the roster. Omega Supreme says rooftop-based Koreans from rooftops to Congress. Thank you. Unwanted Ghost says, you watch Freedom Tunes History Socialism video. I know they're affiliated with Timcast IRL. I just don't watch them. I don't know about them. I'm sure they're great, but I don't know them. Guy says, very telling to use Star Trek as an example of the perfect socialist model. That means perfect socialism is science fiction. Yes. 100% yes. The most dumb statement from a dumb socialist. Exactly. If the only example of this thing working has to have science fiction in it, you're done. Gene Roddenberry's buddy was a creator of Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard should tell you volumes of the wellspring of why the 21st century's messed up. I don't know this. Sorry. Dragon Slayer says, ahoy decoy. Mrs. Slayer and I were blessed to welcome Lizard Slayer number 3 to the world this weekend, sharing some blessings. Oh, congratulations, you have a new kid. So yeah, that's awesome. I think that's pretty much it. I think Twitch, everybody's kind of scattering, but yeah, if you guys haven't already, consider subscribing to me over on Twitch TV. I kind of feel like twitch.tv/decoy, if I build that up, it can make it so like YouTube will give me the handle decoy. It seems insignificant, but to me, it seems like a big deal. Should be cool. And you can also give me an Amazon Prime sub. If you have Amazon Prime, it gives me like a free $5 membership. So that's pretty cool. I'm also on Instagram at DecoyBTS. You can see it up there. Hopefully I can buy that at Decoy account. There was a Discord server. It's only for the top tier channel members on YouTube, on Decoy Voice, because whenever there's a Discord server, it gets like hijacked by people that don't like me. They spam it with nonsense, so I just nuke it. I don't want anything to do with it. I feel like I don't really use Discord myself. I don't want something that's attached to my name that has nonsense on it, so I just kind of keep it as top tier as possible. Cody Hall with the super chat saying, life is a dance. You learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Appreciate that. Neobach Truck says, you're not top tier. Are you not top tier? I don't know. I don't really know how it is. So thank you, Subbox Own, saying I'm following all of them, so I appreciate that. Yeah. You read an article about community service. I think that to get SNAP benefits, they have to have volunteer work. Perfect. If you're a felon, you don't need to be hired. Just do volunteer work. I'm sure they're going to juke that. They're going to find someone that says, hey, you come in here, do an hour of work, I'll give you 40 hours credits. Just give me some of your SNAP benefits. It's a corrupt system, but, you know, that's what it is. Yeah. You guys over on Decaf Decoy. So, next Monday, we're only going to be on Decaf Decoy on YouTube. We won't do Decoy Voice again. But then also, it seems like the poll was okay with it. If I can, I will be doing some IRL streams. It'll probably just be on like Twitch and Kick. But I'll do an IRL stream, so if you don't follow me over there and you want to see the extra content, it'll probably be on that platform, possibly on YouTube as well if I can get it to work. I still haven't figured out how to stream off my phone, but we're going to try it. So thanks for hanging out as long as you guys have across all these platforms. But for now, duck off.